ivermectin, antibiotics, and more. With a prescription included, no hassle. Order online and they'll ship it right to your door. Stock up now at allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use code BILL10 for 10% off. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Good morning, Kenny Williams.
Good morning, Vic Porcelli.
How are you, baby?
Good, man.
Hey, great show coming up again. Ken gave us a Rock'em Sock'em show for a Wednesday. Paul Kurtman will be by at 9:25. We'll play the be or not the be with him, but his comments and his thoughts on the world and the United States is just great.
Yeah, that's one of those features that has transitioned. It's evolved. It started out as the be or not the be being the main thing, but now we start talking with him, and that becomes the main thing.
And you can ask him anything.
Yeah.
I asked him, because he loves the Roman Empire, I said, so which emperor would Donald Trump be? And he told us which one that he thought he would be, and I can't remember. Cassius Clay, I think. No, that was Muhammad Ali. Anyway, Melanie Collette's going to join us from CFAC. Do you know there's a Biden EPA museum? An EPA museum.
Not much longer, though, is it?
Right, well, she's trying to get rid of it. Do we need an Environmental Protection Agency museum?
No,
really?
No.
Holy cow. Tim Jones, our favorite Speaker of the House. He's coming by at 10:05. Fake news. Now, listen to me here. Listen. We get a double fake news today.
Awesome.
That's how bad they are. Joe Brazel. Joe Brazel?
Yes.
Okay. Chat box 1125. And Soulard, you're all going to come by today with some food for us. You bring food to us, you're always welcome.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
And it's Greek food, so our token Greek, Stel will invite him in.
Yeah, I have to.
Kent, who is doing the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
Yeah, well, Vic, this is pretty cool because Chris Arps, our afternoon show guy, he invited Wendy Bell to do the pledge for us.
Wendy Bell, who's going to Newsmax?
Yes, and she went ahead and she obliged. And on her show, she actually starts the day with the pledge as well.
Stop it!
Yeah, she informed him of that.
She's copying us too?
Yeah.
Whatever. Go ahead, Wendy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Amen. She threw in the amen.
Yeah.
She's local, right?
I'm not sure.
I think she might be. Which is because there's a Christine Coleman who works at Fox News. She does the news updates. She worked at Channel 5 here in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Who knew she was a closet conservative?
Who knew?
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about immigration here for a bit. Let's talk about the Department of Homeland Security and Kristi Noem. You know what I love about Kristi Noem? First of all, Alejandro Mayorkas, he never even went near the border, right?
I don't think he left his office. They just came in and they recorded him.
That's a great point. He always had his suit and tie on. Kristi Noem puts on the gear. She puts on the bulletproof vest. She puts on the baseball hat. She goes down there and she sees what's going on. She went to that prison in El Salvador.
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
That was pretty intimidating.
Now, I don't know. Anything you do nowadays, if you're a conservative or a Republican, the Democrats say you should be put in jail for.
Right.
So they were saying that she violated some Geneva Convention thing.
Oh, well.
Because she took a picture of herself with the prisoners in the El Salvador prison. Is that true?
I have no idea. And you know what, to be honest with you, whenever they say something, I kind of ignore it at this point. I really do. I mean, they're horrible people on the left.
I just don't see why it would even be a thing. Who cares? They're the worst people in that cell of anyone in the world.
But isn't it funny? They'll defend trying to get those people back to the United States who we flew into El Salvador because of their crimes, but they'll never mention the crimes that they committed. They never will.
I don't know if we have to go that far because Jamie Raskin said he wants us to bring them home. He used the word bring them home. This isn't their home.
No,
Go ship them to Venezuela if you don't want them in that El Salvador prison, but they're not coming here.
no, they shouldn't come here with the people they've raped, murdered,
Yep.
and everything else, chopped heads off.
They're just disgusting. So let's hear from Kristi Noem on just that, on touring the El Salvador prison.
People need to see that image. They need to see that the United States is going to use every tool that we have to make our communities safer, that is a consequence of someone who is a terrorist. The president has declared Tren de Aragua and MS-13 as terrorist organizations, and the president of El Salvador has as well. The only people allowed in that prison are terrorists. And to tour that and to look at that was giving the American people the transparency that they want out of their government. They were able to see exactly where we're sending these people who have murdered and raped Americans, that have decimated communities, and there's going to be consequences for individuals who continue to do that. My conversation with that president was, will you take more of these terrorists? And he said, absolutely, we will. We will take the worst of the worst and make sure that they're facing consequences for what they've done to your country.
What a difference and what an upgrade in the Secretary of Homeland Security in Kristi Noem over Alejandro Mayorkas. Because we have to remember, and I think you and I we figured it out early, that he would say things like, Congressman, we inherited a broken immigration system. So after a while, Ken and I are like, broken immigration system? Broken because it kept people out of the country? Is that why you thought it was broken? Because a good immigration policy would be let everybody in, which is what they did.
And they said that that's what they needed all the money for, and that it was secure. They said the border, he would say, remember, he'd say, now the border is secure. What he meant was the border is what we wanted it to be, processing people as fast as possible.
Right. And Karine Jean-Pierre, she would always say, our plan is working.
Yeah.
So the plan clearly was to just let any scumbag into the country that wants to come in. Now, I shouldn't have said that, because there are plenty of very nice people who came into the country. And I'm sure there are some people who had a legitimate asylum claim to come into the country, but most of them did not, Ken.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we had to jump through hoops every day verbally and say that, as a disclaimer, like, for example, when I talk about Democrats, I think a lot of the people listening know, the Vic heads especially know, that I'm talking about the politicians and primarily the mainstream media. When I say that they cannot be trusted, they lie, they hate this country, and they're only trying to bring it down and keep division alive and well so they could flourish. And that's the Democrat politicians I'm talking about, not your average everyday blue dog Democrat.
You're right. So how about some stats on who we deported, who we sent to this prison? Here's Homeland Security Secretary again, Kristi Noem.
We have deported over 120 people that are on the known terrorist watch list out of this country, over 800 TDA members, in over 100,000 different arrests have been made of criminals that are out of this country. Every single family that can identify with Laken Riley's family, Jocelyn Nungary's family, people who were devastated by these criminals are thankful that they're gone, and President Trump is on the right side of history.
You know what? With all the talk about Joe Biden right now and how they all knew how compromised he was.
Right.
And, when at the State of the Union, when Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying, say her name, right, for Laken Riley.
Right.
And he picks up a button and goes, yeah, I know, Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln. Lincoln Riley.
That's how disconnected him and the Democrats are from real Americans.
Right.
From real Americans getting attacked and killed and raped by these terrible Tren de Aragua, Maria Huerta, and MS-13 guys are. They're bad.
Yeah.
They're bad people. And it's funny.
No, really bad, though. See, this is, we can say this and people say, yeah, they were bad. No, I mean, I always try to put myself in the position of that person living in that apartment in Colorado, for example.
Yes.
In Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah.
You're in your apartment, you got double locks on it, and all of a sudden somebody starts pounding on it, and you're looking through the window, and they've all got guns saying, if you don't open the door, we're going to blow through it. I mean, that's the position that these people were in, and they were thrown out of their apartments. That's bad.
My daughter doesn't live far from there.
Wow, really?
An hour away from Aurora. And I asked her about it. I said, are you hearing about this Venezuelan gang coming and taking over apartment complex. You go, oh no, I haven't heard a thing. So in Colorado, the local news isn't even talking.
They're not
about
even reporting it. Yeah,
because the mayor of Denver and the governor of Colorado they're fine with it. They're fine with terrorists coming in and terrorizing people who live in Colorado.
but that's so amazing. I mean, we say it, Vic, but it's so amazing. Like you mentioned, Jamie Raskin saying, "Bring them home,"
Right.
And then you have judges saying, "You must bring these people back to this country." Why? They've been vetted as being extreme criminals that have killed people and done worse. I mean, some of them cut off people's hands in New York. Okay, and they're being told, "Bring them back. We want them back here in the United States." No, we don't. We don't.
We shouldn't have to live like this. We should not have to live in fear of being attacked. Everything you just said. We should be able to go about our lives, no matter where we live, and not worry about it. So let me ask you another question on kind of the same thing. The attendance at the last Cardinal game in this series was 21,000 in a stadium that holds double that, more than double that.
Yeah.
Why?
I would attribute at least some of it to the crime downtown.
Exactly right.
And the only reason why I can say that is because I'm one of those people who will hesitate letting my wife and kids go downtown.
Right. I think that is a big reason what you say there, Ken. I also think it's, taking a family of 4 to the ballpark is an expensive ordeal, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if your kids are little, you got to get the cotton candy, you got to get them the shirt, you got to get them everything else besides the drinks and the food. And it turns out to be very expensive. Also, going down to a Cardinal game, like you said, is it's become very dangerous because don't think a lot of these muggings and stuff haven't happened right outside Busch Stadium, because they have, regardless of what the local television media is telling you.
Well, I mean, I want to see a Cardinal game once in a while. I'd love to. They've got to take care of this, and what I'm hoping, Vic, is that the state taking over at least some authority of the St. Louis Police Department will help. I think they'll give them the things that they need to make it safer downtown.
Yep. Can I tell you something, Ken? If you went to a Cardinal game, you would be so confused on what the hell's going on during the game. Like,
yeah,
if it goes into extra innings, you'd be like, wait, whoa. How that guy get on second base? What's going on here? But wait, pitch count. What's a pitch count?
One of our fearless leaders, Joe Rush, he was making fun of me saying, did you really not know that they put people onto second base? I didn't know that, only because I haven't watched the game much because of all the stuff that's been going on for the last 5 years.
Right.
But
the woke stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just kind of left it alone, and not only that, because I can't access to the game. Used to be I could just turn on the television and watch a game.
That's a great point.
And I can't anymore, so I'm kind of divesting. I've divested.
Yeah, your interest has been divested.
Yeah. So that really keeps me. And then I say, well, I'm not really invested in the game anyway, so I'm not going to go downtown.
Yep. And I think that's a big part of it, because I have now. If you want to watch the game, it might be on FanDuel. What's FanDuel? I mean, I know what FanDuel is. It's a bookie, online bookie, but they have a network, FanDuel network. I mean, what in the hell's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure about what they're on, because again, I haven't. I haven't checked, but I know that it's a pay site. I know it's a pay app of some kind.
Do you remember the good old days when you just put on Channel 11?
Channel 11, buddy.
There was Jack Buck and Mike doing the play-by-play. Wait, is that right? I know they did radio. Did they do TV too ever? Or did they just do radio?
No, what my dad used to do, he'd turn on KMOX and then turn on the TV and turn the sound down.
Yeah, I like that too, except it didn't match up.
No, it didn't.
Because the bat crack would come way after or way before,
Right.
But, okay, so another quick story that's got nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but it just jumped into my head. When I first came here, I'm starting to find out what's going on with the local teams. Who are the Blues? Who are the Cardinals? So I'm watching a Blues game, and I'm listening to Ken Wilson do the games, and he's being every pass, every little thing he was saying, and you don't really see that on TV, right? You see them talking about other stuff, and hey, this rookie is really something. And I said, what in the world? And then it hit me that he was doing the Blues games on TV and radio at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. Ken Wilson, I actually have a little story about him.
Yeah, go.
My dad, before he passed, he had cancer for 2 years, and he was pretty well drugged up near the end. And he was a gigantic blues fan. He's actually covered up on the couch with his blues cover.
Love
and
it.
he's just kind of watching the game, but he's going in and out, And I called. I knew somebody, and I called Ken Wilson. I said, "Listen, my dad's watching right now. Could you give him a little prop?" And he did.
A shout out.
He did.
You know what? Ken Wilson was awesome.
Yeah.
I have a hat that was autographed by him with Ken Wilson, and he wrote, "Oh, baby." Remember you used to say that all the time? Oh, baby. But to be able to do radio and TV at the same time, because you have to really be very informative for the people listening on the radio because they can't see anything.
Right.
And you can't be too informative on the TV because, okay, we can see it.
Yeah.
But he did it perfectly.
Yeah. It was good the way he did it. And I just, my dad just, when he heard him say his name, he's like, "What's going on here?"
That's so cool.
It just really perked him up, and it was very special for me.
It's awesome. So what do you say? You want to tie one on this Friday?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you know what? We'll visit Save On Liquor. I don't know how tied up. How much we'll tie one on. The Vic Porcelli Show. Hey, that's us. We'll be broadcasting live from the grand opening of Save On Liquor and Wine in Chesterfield, Missouri. That's this Friday from 9 to noon. That's right in the valley. Okay. Come say hi to us and, see what they've got. They stock up yourself for the weekend on beverages. There'll be raffles, free tastings, all happening 9 to noon this Friday at the Save On Liquor Store on Chesterfield Airport Road in the old Best Buy building from 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number one for live and local conservative talk.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's NewstalkSTL.
Woosh, woosh.
If you have a phone, you have a radio. Download the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
Love the all-new app.
And listen anytime, anywhere.
Hey, want to amaze your friends when they visit? They'll be impressed when they see your custom-made draperies, blinds, or shutters. Michael Proctor will personally help you select the correct colors to truly showcase your home. Then he will actually design, personally install everything. No overhead markup. That's going to save you money on draperies, blinds, or shutters.
Call for an appointment at your home. Spell Proctor like doctor.
Are you tired of hard chlorinated water drying your skin out, tasting bad, and ruining your fixtures? Jones Air and Water Treatment has a solution to this pollution. Our Hydratech H2O leaves you with great tasting, soft water at all fixtures in your home with one unit. Call Jones Air and Water at 636-899-1040 or visit us on the web at joneswater.com. You can be a filter or buy a filter. Jones Air and Water, 636-899-1040 or joneswater.com on the web. Call us now.
Hi, Kirk Hilsinger here, and I'm the new chairman of the St. Louis Republican Central Committee. I invite you to our meetings that take place the first Thursday of every month at 3710 Hampton Avenue. You can stay connected with us to learn more about how you can get involved, make your voice heard, and contribute to our shared goals. Together, we can make a difference in the city of St. Louis and the state of Missouri. For more info, visit our new website at stl-gop.com. That's stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC. Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Are uneven concrete surfaces causing you headaches? Polytime Concrete Leveling and Restoration has the solution. We're a veteran and family-owned business offering long-lasting solutions for all your concrete problems. From precision concrete leveling to our superior restoration services, our precision polyjacking outperforms traditional mudjacking any day. Call Polytime at 636-487-3282 for a free estimate or visit itspolytime.com. Mention Newstalk STL and get $125 off any job of $600 or more, or 10% off your service.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
When people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right. Ken Williams showing off, everybody. Sounds great.
Thanks.
So it's a Wednesday, and usually on the it's first Wednesday of every month, we invite our great friend Paul Kurtman to come play a game that he invented. Oh, what was that game again?
This is the city, St. Louis, Missouri. It was August 31st, 2023. It was a hot day in St. Louis. We were working day watch in the radio feature theft department. My partner's Williams. My name's Monday.
It's Friday.
Oh, right. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. We got a call from the world's smartest human, Paul Kurtman. He said he got robbed. He got fried.
Yeah, he sure did. Paul Kurtman started the game called The Bee or Not the Bee on his outstanding Saturday show that he did here on News Talk STL. And, you know, they try to steal from you, Paul, but it's just not good. How are you, man?
Doing good, Vic. Doing really good. Glad to be with you again.
Yeah, we love talking to you, and we love playing Be or Not to Be, but most of all, we love your expertise, your wisdom after the game is over. But let's not fool around. Let's play. You ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right. Headline number 1. Man arrested for silently praying for the person who's stabbing him.
That is the B.
That is the B. Got it. Next headline. Kid outed as homeschooler after looking adult in the eyes while talking.
The B.
Yes.
Sorry.
Gave that one away. Cory Booker hosts 24-hour PSA on the dangers of crystal meth.
Oh man, not the B.
No, that is the B. Ah, we got the right
okay.
Paul Kurtman on one of them. Next headline. Concerns raised as Pete Hegseth unveils new Kill All Commies forehead tattoo. Stop laughing.
I can't help.
Damn it. Go ahead, you can say it.
That's the B.
Yeah. Will you stop?
All right, I'm turning my mic
giving
off.
him all the way because he wouldn't know if he didn't laugh. All right, final one. Greenland furiously making snowballs in preparation for American military invasion.
The B.
Yes, it's the B. Our winner, Paul Kurtman.
Paul Kurtman.
All right. Paul, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things going on in the Missouri legislature. I don't think it's as bad as it was last session, like the Caleb Rowden years. You know, how did we become? Listen to this. We became the groundbreaking state in anti-abortion legislation, and now we're like the worst. It's like abortion on demand almost here in Missouri.
You know, Caleb Rowden is an interesting guy. I'll put it that way. I remember when he first ran for the House, I campaigned for him. I went out and helped him get elected into the House of Representatives, went out and spoke at a couple of his fundraisers. But man, right after he got elected, he just wasn't quite the guy that a lot of us thought that he was, because his claim to fame was he was a youth pastor. He was a Christian. I think he was in a Christian rock band, and they toured the country. But then he quickly assumed this position of, well, it's okay for me to vote with the left because my district is on the left, and it's more important for me to be in my seat. And that's a very common mindset that a lot of people have, and they think it gives them cover to not be the strong conservatives that we need them to be. And in my opinion, it just doesn't, because then why, if you're just going to vote with the left, why not just have a leftist in there? I'd rather have that, because now we know who we're dealing with.
It just feels like a bait and switch to me, because they don't run on that. They don't run on, hey, vote for me and I'll turn on all the Republicans. They don't say that. They say how conservative they're going to be, and then they're not when they get there.
Yeah, that's right. I remember we had some legislation. Bob Onder was the Senate sponsor. I was the House sponsor, and the bill was designed to protect people of conscience. They didn't want to be, the whole issue of don't make the birthday cake for a religious ceremony that violates your religious conscience. And that's all it was. And that would have been for anybody of any faith or anybody of no faith. We just don't want you to be forced to violate your conscience. And one of the deciding votes that helped kill that bill was Caleb Rowden. And it just really shocked a lot of people, because he ran on his whole Christian background. But it's not just Caleb Rowden. Like there's a lot of other people. I don't want to just completely. I don't want to sound like I'm just bashing him for that. I mean, this is an issue, whether it's in Jefferson City or Washington, D.C. As soon as people get elected, they go there, and so many people just immediately turn into somebody that they themselves never wanted to be. People think that they're going to be the knight in shining armor, that they're willing to be the only no vote or the only yes vote on a bill, even if it costs them their career. They have this really high premium on their own integrity, but they quickly realize, and everybody else quickly realize, that it's just not as valuable to them. Integrity is not as valuable to most people as we would like to think that it is.
See, Paul, that's what's so confusing. So he runs on, and this is not just him, but they run on a certain platform that people obviously like, and they vote for him. So then he gets in there, and to us, it's almost like somebody says something or gives him something or does something to make him say, "Oh, I better pivot here and then." Because he ran on it, Paul, and they liked it, but then now he's changing and saying, well, I'm changing because my constituency likes it.
Yeah, I think the thing here is when people get elected, they're seduced by this club that they're in. And if you're a member of the Missouri House of Representatives or the Missouri State Senate, you're in a pretty exclusive group of people. You have some notoriety. You have people giving you attention that you've never gotten before. For a lot of people, it's very validating to them. And I think that people are seduced by that, and most people too. They think that they're the next congressman, they're the next governor, and they don't want to do anything that they think is going to rock the boat. And here's the dynamic that goes on, guys. That first election, people give their speech, they thank all their voters, and they say things like, "I couldn't have done this without you. We're in this together." But by the time the next election comes, they have it in their heads that if they're going to stay elected, it's only because the bureaucracy, it's only because of the political class, it's only because of the consulting class or the special interest. Those are the people that are going to keep them in office. And it's just patently false. But that's why people go from representing the people to representing the special interest, because they think that they're the ones that'll keep them in power.
You know what, Paul? We're talking to Paul Kurtman. You remember him? I just don't understand. I don't get a lot of what goes on in politics sometimes, and especially in state politics. But Nick Schroer's got a crime bill he's trying to get through. Can you explain to me how anybody would vote against a crime bill?
It's there's just so many different dynamics. There's really just so many different dynamics. Now, Nick is also in the Senate. And so in the Senate, they will use good legislation, knowing that it's good legislation. Other senators, they will hold out their yes vote, and they'll do that in order to get leverage, in order to try to get Nick or somebody else to come on board with them and agree to help with one of their issues. So when we hear about these backroom deals that are made, that's a very real thing. There's a lot of negotiating. Yeah, I'll support you here, but I won't support you here. Or yeah, I'll support you up to this point. And so there's just a lot of negotiating. Please support this amendment, support this House Joint Resolution, please support this Senate bill. And so there's a lot of people that will hold out their support in hopes that they can eventually get other people to support their issue. In the Senate, now in the House of Representatives, there's rules. Like you can only speak for 15 minutes at a time. But in the Senate, there's no rule that prevents you from speaking. You can speak as long as you want. And it's often said in Jefferson City and in other state capitals that a state senator has as much power as they're willing to take. Now, in the Senate, they have a lot of leverage, and people will use that leverage against Nick in order to try to advance their own agenda. And it might be a completely separate issue that we don't even see yet.
Yep. It gets very frustrating from a layperson who says, crime bill? Well, that sounds like a great idea. And then nothing ever happens. Hey, Paul, the Blues have won 10 games in a row, buddy. 10.
I'm super excited about that. I love these winnings. I love it when the Blues get their winning streaks.
And
this is not the B, right? This is
right. No. Paul, your next headline is the St. Louis Blues have won 10 games in a row. Oh, that's got to be the B.
The B.
But it's getting exciting because they're close to getting a wild card spot. And let's not forget, in 2019, nobody thought that the Blues would come back and win the Stanley Cup. All right, one final thing for you, Paul. I don't know if you remember Brian McKenna, sports radio guy here in town, but he had cancer. He beat cancer. And then on a Saturday morning at 1 o'clock in the morning, he's crossing Nottingham Avenue and he gets hit by a car and killed. Okay. And a lot of people are asking, well, what's going on? What can we do for some kind of celebration day? Well, there's going to be a Brian McKenna celebration day on May 31st from 2 to 7 o'clock on Mackland from Devonshire to Nottingham. Now, get this, Ken. Mackland from Devonshire to Nottingham will be shut down, closed off.
That's awesome.
That's how many people they're expecting to be at this celebration because everybody loved Brian McKenna.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, he was a good guy, Paul. Hey, thank you so much, man. Tell us about your business down there. How's that going?
Yeah, business is going great. The markets are pretty volatile. If anybody wants to reach out to me to talk about their portfolio, I'm willing just to give them a second opinion. Just no charge. I just want to help people. There's no reason for people to be up all night worrying about their money when they can reach out to somebody like me just to get some thoughts.
That's right.
And they can go to prkirtman.com.
All right, Paul, thanks, man. It's always great talking to you. We miss you. I want to tell you, we really miss you.
Hey, thanks, guys.
You got it.
See you, Paul.
So Glenn Jacobs, Kane. Ken, you remember Kane?
Yeah.
Big 7 foot, 320-pound guy, wrestler?
Yeah.
Well, now his name is Glenn Jacobs. I guess his name was always Glenn Jacobs.
Yeah, you're right. He changed it back.
Yeah, he changed it back. He's going to be at the St. Charles Funny Bone on April the 16th, day after tax day, to talk about zero income tax. Tennessee is doing it. They're doing great with it. He's the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, and he's just a fun guy. If you've ever seen him on TV, he's funny, he's fun, and he's very large. So we're going to be out there at the St. Charles Funny Bone on April 16th. It is free, but you have to get a ticket. So please register because it's going to sell out quickly at our website, NewstalkSTL.com. All right, the great Melanie Collette from CFACT is next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The home of the hosts with cat-like reflexes. Vic Porcelli on News Talk STL.
On the next,
Larry Connors, USA.
It's Tariff Day. Now, how will the nation react? How will other nations react? We'll find out.
Larry Connors, USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
From home improvement to replacement, do-it-yourself electrical projects can be shocking. That's where Grasser Electric can help. They've been lighting up St. Louis for years. From ceiling fans and dimmer switches to repair or replacing your electric. No job is too big or too small for your home or business. Grasser Electric will even install emergency backup generators. So call Grasser Electric today before the sparks start to fly. 636-441-5200 or go to grasserelectric.com.
Hey folks, Tim Jones here with Eric from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers. Eric, Newstetter's not one of those giant, big, sterile, big box stores, is it?
Nope. Newstetter's Fine Jewelry is a family-owned local tradition since the 60s. We're a full-service jeweler that does on-site repair as well as custom creations and one-of-a-kind pieces you will see nowhere else. We don't sell jewelry. We sit and listen to find out exactly what you truly desire in fine jewelry and give you an education so you'll fall in love with your piece for a lifetime. Don't let fine and fine jewelry confuse you. We have pieces starting at $100 that will keep your loved one happy for a lifetime and look like you spent thousands. We also have a wish list to ensure your loved one gets exactly what they want, and we're also bringing back a layaway program to make your life easier. Newstetter's is a true jeweler.
I can personally attest to that. Newstetter's Fine Jewelers at wowdiamonds.com. That's Newstetter's Fine Jewelers, wowdiamonds.com.
Join the 10th annual Jeff Hansen Memorial Foundation Sporting Clay event, a day of remembrance and support for our veterans. Saturday, May 17th at Black Hawk Valley Hunting Preserve in Old Monroe. Compete individually or as a team. Breakfast, lunch, and shells included. By participating, you're not just shooting clay, you're supporting Freedom 13 and our veterans. Reserve your spot by May 9th. Learn more and register today at jeffhansenmemorialfoundation.com.
St. Louis's new choice for conservative talk.
Thank you for the opportunity to let me vent here.
Live and local.
Way to be, guys. 1019 all the way.
This is News Talk STL.
I am home.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Now go home and get your shine box.
On Newstalk STL.
Welcome home to 1019 and 94.1 Newstalk STL. I'm Vic Porcelli. That guy there, why, he's Ken Williams. All right, so on transparency, full disclosure, I'm just going to say it. Okay? When we started this show, the bumper music you hear, I wanted it not to have vocals.
Yeah.
Right? And there was a reason for that. I thought that maybe the vocals would be distracting to our vocals, you know, and we're trying to talk. And I don't know, Rush did it. Rush never had words in his bumper music.
Right.
So when I brought that up to my boss, he said, you know what? You're no Rush. Okay.
There you
enough.
go.
Fair enough.
There you go.
I have none of my hands tied behind my back just to make it fair. All right. Let's get our next guest in before she runs away in fear. She is Melanie Collette from CFAC. Let's go down to Cape May County, New Jersey. Am I right?
You are right. I was laughing so hard when they said you're no Rush.
I'm no Rush. That's
No
how they
Rush.
treat me here, Melanie. That's how they treat me here.
Wow.
When I leave every day, they kick me in the ass when I walk out of the door.
That's harsh.
It is.
They
Really
don't.
is.
Harsh. They don't.
I'm going to file a
But who
grievance.
is Rush, though? Come on.
Nobody is, right? I mean, Dan Bongino
Right,
even said,
exactly.
he said many times, hey, because people say, you're not Rush Limbaugh, you're no Rush. And he goes, I know I'm not. I could never be. Nobody can expect to be Rush Limbaugh. All I can do, Melanie,
Exactly.
is
No one is.
try to do a good impression of him. Half my brain tied behind my back
Amen.
just to make it fair. Okay. So listen, does the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, really need a museum?
Oh, it definitely does. We need to spend millions on that. Like, I just don't. It's incredible to me. It's just seriously how, like, when people, I think when we as average Americans look at our own budget and the things that we prioritize, right?
Yep.
And the things that we wouldn't buy when the budget is tight and and when you're like astronomically in debt, and you go, yeah, I can afford a museum. Yeah, why not? I know, like, I'm in like all this debt, and I know I owe my enemy China, which is tantamount to owing like the mob money. But you know what? I have extra money for a museum. Like, it just does not. They're exhausting.
They are exhausting.
The federal government, they're exhausting. The things that they think they have money for. It's like they have unlimited amounts of money.
You know, Melanie.
You know, and go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's the thing about the Democrats in Washington, D.C. Do they not realize when they do stuff like that, they're mocking us? Who you know, sometimes people that are living paycheck to paycheck and having a hard time putting food on the table, they're mocking us, for God's sakes.
Well, they are, and I love when they do it on behalf of other people. Like I can't believe how much we fund media, for example, like other media. I'm sure there's people who would love to have, like, you know, satellite radio in their cars, but it's not in their budget. But we're paying like all these other media outlets that are probably espousing principles and things that we don't even believe in. It's crazy. Yeah. And the EPA museum is just another example of that. It's really like a huge promotion piece to promote, you know, these woke and arduous EPA regulations and act like they're the most fabulous thing since sliced bread when we know they're not.
Yeah. And if you're gonna spend money on a museum, how about a Rush Limbaugh museum or something else? You know, they would never think of anything that more people would like to. Is anybody ever going to this EPA museum?
Why is it that can't be done with like people with like fundraisers?
Right.
Like, why are we using taxpayer money for that? If there's a real market for an EPA museum, have people donate to build the museum.
And
have people do that. Why are we spending taxpayer money on that?
And I think it's a good indication of whether people want one or not. right? Let's see.
There you go.
You want to make an EPA museum? I don't know. You think anybody will come? Well, let's do a fundraising thing. And if we don't raise any money, that means nobody wants to come. And then they'll realize, right, it was a stupid idea to begin with. But planning ahead,
things that no one asked for.
I'm crazy like that. Just kind of planning ahead. So I got some questions here. Actually, I'm a little mad here because I'm on the CFACT website, and I don't see your name. I don't see anything you've written.
I'm there.
Where?
I'm definitely there.
Under what?
Unless I got fired.
So my God, that would be terrible to find out.
Unless I've been let go. I was there.
Where do I
recently.
find
I'm
it?
ready to go look up.
It's not one of the drop downs. Here are the drop downs. You ready? Home, about.
I think I'm under. Okay, I see about Melanie Collette. Wait, I'm going right there. Let's see. Where can you find me? These are good. These are very good questions.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you exactly.
Oh, here we are. There you are on the policy team.
I know I'm there. Oh, is it under the policy team?
Well,
Where is it
yeah,
under?
it's a double thing. So you got to go. First of all, you got to go to about.
CFACT in the news or about?
No. About the second one. And then they have leadership. They got Craig Rucker, Mark Morano, Judy Kent. Who are these people? We don't care about them.
Yes,
and then Melanie Collette down there on the bottom.
We've had them on.
Yes, and then below on the policy team, you have senior policy analyst Melanie Collette. Very exciting.
That's very exciting. Is it cool working for Dr. Bonner Cohen?
Listen, they are just really, and I mean, it's like a magnificent group of people. Really.
Yeah. We love Bonner Cohen. We have Bonner all the time.
Just a nice group of people. I don't know Bonner that well, but Craig and Judy I've known since the Project 21 days. I met Craig in person for the first time when he came out to Cape May County to help us out with the wind turbine ridiculousness here in Cape May County. He apparently had seen my work, and I spoke at a couple of those events. And we met in person there, and then he invited me to become a policy analyst.
Well, let me tell you what it's going to sound like.
Heard me speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
What hearing you speak is what the attraction is for sure. But when you meet Dr. Bonner Cohen, it probably sounds like, "Oh yeah, Melanie Collette, good to see you. Don't forget to go to cfact.org." He's got a great voice.
Of course. Do not forget. CFACT.org, where all the wonderful, reasonable policy analysts and all things environmental policy can be found. Yeah.
You know what? Let's talk a little bit about one of the articles that you wrote for CFACT. It's ending the fallacy of environmental racism. What is environmental racism?
Well, it's this theory that that bad environments are placed in minority areas because everyone's racist. Yes, because of white supremacy. That's the basic premise.
What about the environment? Put the real bad over the black neighborhood. Put it over there.
Yes. They're like, where should we put this trash dump? I don't know. Where are the black folks at? and
Wow.
basically, like, it's kind of like that's their theory on how people decide where to put toxic things or areas to not care about the environmental state of. Where should we put, anything that's going to be bad environmentally, or like I said, when people have bad environments. But then when I point to things like places like Appalachia, the argument that I make in the piece is that it's usually socioeconomic issues that are what you're dealing with. It's typically not racial issues. And not for nothing, it's really annoying that in this day and age we kind of equate poor with black or with any kind of racial component, because I hate to tell you or hate to inform these people, but there are black folks that have plenty of money.
Right. That's a Jersey thing.
So
not for nothing.
It's not, and there are a lot of white folks that are broke.
Yeah, and Melanie, up in St. Louis, up in North County, they have this dump site from World War II. I think it is. It's a nuclear dump site that Josh Hawley is trying to get legislation passed to clean it all up. And there are a lot of black folks out there, but there are also a lot of white folks out there. So it's really not a racial thing.
But nobody cares.
No, they'll just focus in on one thing.
Right. They're like, oh, it's a bunch of black folks out there. We'll just skip taking care of that.
Right.
Like,
Skip that neighborhood.
I just don't believe that this is the way that people think. But the left really wants you to believe that there's like a bunch of white folks in control that are sitting in a room or over their cauldron of racism and just thinking about ways that they can screw over people of color.
Right.
Like,
So crazy.
and I just don't believe that is the way that is working.
Now, do you guys know that we do know that the Biden administration, during the North Carolina rains and all that stuff that happened, the flooding, they actually overlooked a lot of white people who were Trump supporters, and they proved that.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They absolutely did. And well, they did it because, the MAGA folks are super violent and they were facing a lot of negative feedback. It might not be because they're negative. It could be because you suck.
Right. And they do suck.
Like, it just never occurs to them that there's other reasons why people are reacting badly to them. Maybe because you're not awesome. Like, it's not always like, I met this lady about a month ago who wants to be a guest on my radio show, and she wrote a book called It's Not Always Racism, but sometimes it is. Right. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so absolutely true.
Yeah.
And what she was saying, she was telling me about this client that she had where this guy apparently was part of the alphabet community and was also black, and he was having like all these problems at work, and she was an HR person. And she was like, no, it's you, bro. This has nothing to do
It's true. It's funny.
do with the color of your skin. You're just not awesome.
Right.
And sometimes that's what it is.
Sometimes maybe people
you're
should
just terrible.
Right. People should just run on that, right? When they campaign. Vote for me, not him. He's not awesome. I'm awesome. All right. In your article too, you also have a thing about EV mandates, right? We lived through EV mandates during the Biden administration, and they said you had to get an electric car and no more gas stoves. You have to have electric stove. So back then, drive Teslas. They're EVs. They're good. Now, all of a sudden, Elon Musk is on Trump's side. No, EVs are bad. I mean, don't people see this hypocrisy?
They don't. And I don't understand how they don't see it. I mean, we all had to have EVs or we all were going to die in 10 years.
Right.
Like, and now, and the thing is, it would be a little believable if they bought other EVs, right? But they didn't. Like, look at who's the guy, Senator Kelly, who went out and bought a Tahoe. Like, you went from having an EV to a gas guzzling Tahoe, and you bragged about it. But what you're also bro, we have video. You're also bragging about the fact that you told us that we needed these mandates because we were all going to die if we didn't switch to EVs. So you're basically telling us that you were lying. Did you not remember that? Do they not remember their lies?
Right. And not to mention, you're not hurting Elon. You're hurting the dealer. I mean, they don't even know who
bought the car.
They don't who bought the car. They don't even know who to hurt.
And a lot of these people that they damage their cars, they're Democrats, probably. A lot of these people.
Well, and that is the other part. And listen, not for nothing, Elon Musk owns like 13% of Tesla.
Right.
If he never sells another Tesla, like ever, Elon's going to be fine.
Yeah,
I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
You're not hurting who you want to hurt. Like, you want to take down Tesla. Take down Tesla for what? And then what? Do you think that Elon Musk is going to be broke?
Nope.
If you take down Tesla, like, is that what you think is going to happen? You do know he has, several other businesses.
Well,
not just Tesla.
I saw this meme on X. It was crazy. It said Elon Musk made $500,000 every day since the birth of Jesus Christ to today. That's how much money he has today. Why is he messing with your money? He's not gonna. He doesn't care.
But he wants your Social Security money.
You're right.
Well, I love that he's doing it for greed, and I'm like, he's already the richest man in the world. Like, what is the goal?
Right. Exactly.
At that point. But I don't think they get the concept that, like, at some point, like, there comes a point where it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
gotcha. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, you know what, Melanie?
and they don't seem to get that. Oh, he wants to become like the doubly richest man in the world. That's so
Right.
he can buy more. What he can
Yeah.
already buy everything. Have you noticed he owns spaceships?
Right.
What more? So what does he want to buy? Like a planet?
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
I
Planet.
don't. What exactly does he? Are you saying that he wants?
You know, Melanie,
It makes no sense.
we're running out of time. I just want to fit one more little piece.
I'm sorry.
In. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. But the libs are like getting on Elon and his Doge because he has kids working for him, right? 19, 20-year-old kids. But yet for years, the left took their climate change advice from a 13-year-old.
How dare you?
All right, well, just shut up, Greta.
I seem to remember that happening.
Hey.
Well, they seem to, you know how they really hate bad language? I don't know if you've noticed. So they took, objection to one of the guy's Twitter names, which,
Big balls.
There you go. I wasn't going to say that
I'll
because I'm
say
a
it for you.
lady.
I'm a guy. I'll say it.
At least I play one on the radio.
Yeah.
But seriously, like they're so hypocritical and inconsistent, and that's why people can't really take them seriously.
Right.
Like they say that they're so offended by that name, but then like they're dropping F-bombs
Yes.
and cursing like during congressional hearings.
Right.
You're gonna have to pick a team and stick with it, but they refuse to.
That's the new method by the left. Just curse a lot. All right, Melanie Collette from CFAC.
Yep.
Say hi to Dr. Butter Cohen for us. Hope everything's great down there in Cape May County, and we'll talk again soon, okay?
It is. Thank you for having me.
Bye, Melanie.
CFAC.org is where you find Collette and many people at CFAC. All right, we'll take some time for news, and then the speaker, Tim Jones, on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Are you sitting on hidden treasure? Manchester Coin and Jewelry wants to turn your valuables into cash. We're Missouri's premier gold buyers and jewelry specialists with years of expertise. We offer top dollar for your coins, antiques, precious metals, and collectibles. From gold and silver to clocks and jewelry, we buy it all. Don't let your treasures collect dust. Let Manchester Coin and Jewelry give you the best value. Visit online at buyingvaluables.net or come see him today at 141 in Manchester and tell him NewstalkSTL sent you.
Metro Shooting Supplies is a gun enthusiast ultimate destination. With over 400 rental guns, you can try before you buy. Serving Metro St. Louis for over 20 years, we offer the largest selection of new, used, and consignment firearms. Buy a new gun and get a free $200 range membership located at Fifi and St. Charles Rock Road. Metro Shooting Supplies, where shooting meets expertise. Visit buylearnshoot.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KLDY HD3 Clay, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 101.9, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Biden-era corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been tossed out. A New York federal judge dismissed the case at the Justice Department's request. Adams, seeking re-election, has maintained his innocence. The judge's decision comes 3 months before a primary that will likely choose the city's next mayor. A liberal Democrat has won a state Supreme Court race that has national implications. Susan Crawford defeating Republican Brad Schimmel in the Wisconsin Supreme Court contest, which captured nationwide attention and record-breaking donations.
President Trump, Elon Musk, and other Republicans lined up behind Schimmel.
Billionaire megadonor George Soros and other Democrats back Crawford. Her win keeps the state court under a 4-3 liberal majority. Schimmel is a former state attorney general and a supporter of President Trump.
Correspondent Andrew Stewart says Crawford has vowed to gerrymander congressional districts to favor the Democrats. Votes in the House will have to wait till next week after a handful of Republicans aligned with Democrats against allowing a vote on GOP legislation.
The Republicans sided with Democrats against a procedural rule that would have allowed debate and votes to proceed on two key GOP bills this week. One would have prevented district court judges from imposing nationwide injunctions. The other would require proof of citizenship for those wishing to vote. The mutiny comes after disagreement about a proposal to change the rules and allow members who are parents of newborns to vote remotely. Bob Agnew reporting.
President Trump set to announce a major new round of tariffs later today. The death toll from last week's powerful earthquake that hit Myanmar continues to rise as more bodies are pulled from the rubble of collapsed buildings. Myanmar's military government reports the quake claimed more than 3,000 lives. Turnaround on Wall Street, stocks now higher. The Dow is up 66 points. The Nasdaq ahead 6, the S&P 6 points higher as well. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Financing a home, especially in today's market, is one of the biggest decisions you'll make for your family. Work with a mortgage company that puts you first. I do. Work with a lender founded on biblical principles like do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. I do. It's Mike Gallagher for the only mortgage company I've used for almost a decade now when financing or refinancing Fellowship Home Loans. I'm friends with the owners, Mike and Brian. I even have them on my show occasionally. I know the care their team puts into every single customer. I can personally tell you that it's a smooth, stress-free process. And that's due to Fellowship's level of service and expertise that puts you in the right loan for your family and your goals. There's a reason Fellowship Home Loans is flooded with 5-star reviews. Whether purchasing a home or a cash-out refi to consolidate some higher interest debt, you can trust Fellowship Home Loans. Start the process. Make the call. 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
After a quiet start, the weather turns busy in a hurry. Spotty showers and storms possible this morning, but strong to severe thunderstorms with hail, powerful winds, even tornadoes are possible from around noon to 6 p.m. It's windy and warmer today. A high of 78, winds out of the south gusting to 45 miles per hour this afternoon. Quickly turning dry this evening and tonight, partly cloudy down to 54. Rain returns tomorrow, mainly in the afternoon and evening with a cooler high of 66. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, another couple hours to go. Hour number 2 will include our favorite Speaker of the House, Tim Jones. He's standing by. Fake news, double fake news.
Woosh.
Two fake newses, double Woosh Wednesday. And Crazy Joe Brazel from the St. Charles County Council. Let's get going. Let's
go.
Former Speaker of the House.
You just proved why you left-wing loons are so insane.
Y'all ready for this?
Tim Jones.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker, and Woosh, my MAGA brother.
I am ready for this, my ultra MAGA brother. I know it's horrible.
So, I want to talk to you, Tim, about, you were in the House of Representatives in Missouri. I'm sure you saw your share of craziness, right? Just plain old crazy. But Jamie Raskin says that we should bring all the Tren de Aragua gang members, and the term he used was home, like this is their home.
Yeah, Vic, I'm stunned by this because I also, as you know, I am a prolific poster on Twitter.
Yes, you are.
And I have my own little
left-wing liberal lunatic troll patrol. I have these little. What things can I say on this radio show? I'm trying to maybe figure out a word.
push the envelope. You might as well.
Don't you cuss on this here radio?
It's the only rule.
Can I say little d-bags? Can I say that?
You can go ahead and say douchebags. Yeah.
Vic says
so, these little, you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, they're literally. First of all, I don't think they get internet in Mama's basement, right? While she's preparing the Hot Pockets for them. I love Congressman Burchett, who just destroyed that left-wing lunatic tracker last week. He asked him if he asked this stalker asked him some stupid question, and Burchett responded with, do you often have a problem getting your Hot Pockets prepared by Mama in her basement?
Great.
So anyway,
oh my God.
So they don't have the internet because they literally are saying that these people they're defending them. They're defending rapists, murderers, MS-13 gang members. And you know what the defense is? Well, you sent them back to the wrong country.
Yep.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you do admit that they're a murderous, rapist, assaulting, illegal alien gang member, but you're mad because we sent them to El Salvador instead of Honduras or whatever it might be. Oh, too bad. So sad. They weren't supposed to be in this country. So you go figure out what country you're supposed to get back to. I'm sorry. You can send your hate mail to me if you want. You can call me a racist, nativist, Christian nationalist, whatever. I call myself an American patriot who defends our sovereign borders. And so the defense is so hollow. It reminds me of who was it? Was it Goofy? Was it Margaret Brennan or Martha Raddatz? I get those two mixed up all the time because they're both morons, and they both compete for the gold medal in the Moron Olympics, right? Yep. And so one of them said to J.D. Vance, she corrected him on how many gangs were raping and pillaging across the suburbs of Denver. And she said, well, it's only a couple. And J.D. Vance said to her, do you hear yourself, Margaret?
Martha.
Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? That's your defense to murderous, raping, assaulting, illegal alien gang members is we get the number wrong or we get the country wrong. So you're not contesting me on the fact that they're murderous, rapists, assaulting gang members, right? So that's the problem. They're going to continue to lose on this issue, Vic and Ken, because
right.
just like boys and girls sports, having gang leaders raping and pillaging across the United States of America who shouldn't be here in the first place, that's, I dare say, another 80-20 issue that I hope the Democrats continue to triple down on.
That was with Martha Raddatz on ABC.
Martha Raddatz, yeah.
Can you hear yourself, Martha? Do you hear yourself saying just a handful? And let's look at what a handful of apartment complexes could be. How many people could be in the complex? Hundreds of people, right? So if you have a handful, that's 300 families at least that are being terrorized. And I guess Martha's like, well, I guess that's, what do you call collateral damage? It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, they only terrorized 20 Americans, not 30.
Right.
Get your numbers straight.
Right, right. All right. Hey, today is Liberation Day.
Woohoo! Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you brought this up because, look, people who understand the big picture understand exactly what Donald Trump is trying to do here. People who refuse, I think it's a refusal to understand the big picture, because if you look at the big picture, you might have to think to yourself that Donald Trump might be right here, and that in the long run and playing the long game, we are going to do everything that will make America great again. It's not just a campaign slogan; it's a promise to America, right?
Right.
The problems that the left, the DC Democrats, their ridiculous legacy media mouthpieces refuse to acknowledge are, over the past many decades, under Republican and Democratic leadership and presidencies, we have mortgaged away our manufacturing base. We have sent it to communist China and to other third world nations because certain crony capitalists want to do nothing but benefit from slave labor in foreign lands, right? So we can buy cheap crap. So that's what we've done. Donald Trump has recognized that problem, and also it's a national security issue. Doesn't everyone remember what happened 5 minutes ago during the COVID pandemic years when we didn't have enough of this and enough of that, didn't have enough toilet paper, didn't have enough surgical masks, whether those things were needed or useful or not, we didn't have enough of stuff, right? Yep. We didn't have things because we don't make them here at home. So what Donald Trump is, and so while we mortgaged away all of our manufacturing base and the goods and the things that we as American consumers like to buy, what we also did was we then allowed those countries that make all that cheap crap to tariff us to the hilt. So Donald Trump is doing two things here. He's bringing American manufacturing, which coupled with American research development ingenuity is of no match to anywhere around the globe. This is not a pride thing. This is a factual statement. And secondly, he's taking care of the problem that we might have in the future when the next crisis pops up, when our supply chains can't keep up with things because we don't have those things on our shores. This is all good for America in the long term. There will be periodic speed bumps and pain along the way, but the gain will be great. Donald Trump's goal is not to have a bazillion tariffs at 80% until the end of time. His goal is to have little or no tariffs. But first, what he has to do is reset the playing field, I thought Democrats like things like equality, right? Make things equal again, cut taxes, and then you're going to see an economic boom in this country that is going to blow away Trump 1.0.
I agree. And then I get a little frustrated, Tim, because back during the campaign, Sean Fain, the UAW president, he even admitted, our rank and file will probably vote for Donald Trump, but we're still not going to endorse him. Turns out they all vote for Donald Trump. And then Sean Fain says tariffs are a tool in the toolbox to get these companies to do the right thing. And the intent behind it is to bring jobs back here for American workers. Well, if you knew that, why didn't you, not that it matters now, but why would you endorse Kamala Harris and not Donald Trump?
Yeah, look, union bosses are political animals. They give the majority of their contributions, the last statistics I've seen were 95, 98, 99% to Democrats. So Sean Fain talks out of both sides of his mouth, right? Because he's a clever union boss. What we should be reaching out to, though, are the working men and women of this country, be they union or not, because Donald Trump's policies will benefit all of them. As far as the union thing goes, I wish we had freedom of choice in every working environment. I wish every state was a right to work state. That's a different issue for a different day. But what we should be doing is continuing to reach out to the working men and women of this country, union or not, blue collar, white collar, anybody who wants to work, right, for the United States of America, who's a legal citizen here. They should be supporting today's Trump-led Republican Party, because this party is the party of the individual. It's of the family, of the community, of the manufacturing base. It's the party of making America great again in all sense of the word. So what the media will refuse to acknowledge on the tariff battle is that sometimes you have to tip over the apple cart and put the apples back in properly, because what we got right now are a bunch of rotten apples that need to be thrown out. The whole system needs to be restructured. America, as the largest economy, especially the largest economy in the free world, should be leading the way and should not be taken advantage of by anyone.
Well, Tim, okay, the media, this all comes back to the mainstream legacy Pfizer media. They are trying to set this narrative, and they're all in. They keep doing it. They did, how they were sued, and then other things were happening. Trump won with a mandate, but they still have both feet in trying to mess up and disrupt his agenda. He ran on this stuff. They knew it was coming. And you know what? For 4 years, they didn't say anything about Joe Biden's inflation rates going up all the time. When they said it was when he said it was transitional, 14 months in, it was 9.1%. They didn't say a word about it. But now, preemptively, they're talking about tariffs, reciprocal tariffs that might put us into a recession.
Yeah, well, Ken, the narrative is hate Trump, right? Mm-hmm. And then we back everything we need to back into that, whether it's true or false, generally false. And then when we're wrong, we just don't talk about the fact that we were wrong. How many narratives have been destroyed from the legacy Pfizer media, the Democrat comms departments, right, all across the country, in DC and in New York and in La La Land out in LA. They've all been wrong. They were wrong with everything with the pandemic. They were wrong with everything with Trump 1.0. They were wrong with everything regarding the absolute failure, dusfunctional dumpster fire of the Biden-Harris regime, and they're wrong about everything that they're saying about Trump 2.0. And because if they are wrong, then their narrative is destroyed. But see, they'll never admit it. When they are wrong, they just move on. They just move on to the next Trump hate thing. And that's why, guys, I know some days it doesn't feel like it, but we are winning. Look at the proliferation of new media across this country. Newsmax's IPO up over 200% this week. I missed another one. You know, I mean, you've got all this new media, including NewstalkSTL and the now expanded Vic and Ken show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's where people are going because look, and we're honest. We're honest about, and I don't call it a bias. We're honest about how we view the world. We view the world through a conservative lens, right? Why is it? It's not a bias to want government to be smaller, more efficient, and more focused. That's actually a lens we look through because on the other side of that lens then is a more productive, more prosperous, more free America for everyone. And so they continue to tell their ridiculous tales. They continue to pounce on things that they think benefit them in the short term. But guys, in the long term, they have been wrong, and wrong again. They're getting punished with lawsuits. They're getting punished with failing ratings. I mean, is MSNBC even on the air anymore? I haven't heard much from them lately.
Yeah, they sure are. And by the way, they have dozens of listeners.
They have tens, I tell you.
Tons of listeners. So another thing that they claim that is not true is that we are the violent ones, right? We have hateful, violent rhetoric, right? Well, listen to this guy calling for people to shoot ICE agents on sight.
Shoot at ICE agents on sight. That's right. If ICE agents are trying to take you or a loved one, shoot them on sight. The way they're pulling up with masks on, with unmarked vehicles, no badge, no nothing, it could be anybody. It can be gang members. You have every right to shoot at them. This would be the best self-defense case. You're just in fear for your life. You don't know who's behind that unmarked vehicle or who's behind that mask. This is ridiculous. What is our country coming to? Do you like separating kids from their parents? Do you like deporting students that are studying?
No violence there, Tim.
No, but Vic, January 6th.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to ride that. I mean, that dead horse has already been buried 2-3 times over. I would dare say, and I bet the facts would prove me up on this, I bet the FBI crime stats would back me up on this. The left-wing driven and managed and funded violence that we have seen rage across this country from the summer of love back in 2020 until the present day of bombing and terrorizing Tesla owners and Tesla dealers, I'll bet it's 10,000 times as much in lives and in property damage and in dreams lost compared to, you know, the fake false faux narratives told about January the 6th. And yet the media just whistles past the graveyard, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Just a little fun here for the last couple of minutes or so. First of all, do you use Grok at all to search for things?
I have not dared to use this whole AI thing. Every time I think of AI, I think of the rise of the Terminator.
Yeah.
Skynet. So I'm kind of terrorized by those movies I watched in the 90s. But you know who does use Grok on a daily basis and loves it? The good Senator Nick Schroer. He loves Grok. He thinks it's fantastic.
I use it all the time. I go there instead of going to Google. So the Blues are right now on a 10-game winning streak. Fantastic, right? So then you got to start thinking, well, what's the record? What's the longest winning streak in NHL history? And it's 17 by the Pittsburgh Penguins a few years back. So we're close to that. But the real thing I wanted to let you know about was, just for fun, I was outside and I put into Grok, how handsome is Vic Porcelli? And it says, oh, you're asking me to rate Vic Porcelli's handsomeness? Well, as an AI, I don't have eyes to judge appearances, and I'm pretty sure Vic's charm comes more from his voice and personality than a headshot. Thank you very much. I can't see. Listen to this. He's a radio legend in St. Louis, known for his wit and charisma on shows like Porcelli's Deli and the Vic Porcelli Show. So it says it. Handsomeness is subjective, but if we're measuring by his ability to entertain and connect with people, I'd say he's got a face for radio. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Hey, he's honest, right?
What the hell? Anyway.
Brock's got a sense of humor. I love it.
I asked it one time because I know this happened. All right. I know I'm not imagining this, but you remember the Saturday Night Live Weekend Update? Chevy Chase is the anchor, and Gilda Radner would come in as Emily Littell, right? And I swear to God, I remember her saying, "What's all this I hear about flea erections in Canada?" and then she goes through this whole thing. And then Chevy Chase goes, that's free elections. And she goes, oh, never mind. So I put into Grok, I said, didn't Emily Littell once say, what's all this about flea erections? And I hit enter, and it came back with, ha ha. And they couldn't find it. They didn't know it was there, but it's like it's a real person or something.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost Tim, I guess. Tim, you there? Wow, we bored Tim to death.
He fell asleep.
We literally killed someone from how boring this show is. What the hell? Face for radio.
That was actually funny.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty
All
good.
right, fine. Hey, you're invited to attend the Show Me Education Town Hall tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Lodge of De Pere, right on De Pere Road, but it's right off of Manchester.
And you won't fall asleep.
Maybe. It's Tim Jones, I think, so you might.
No.
Because now I want revenge. I'm very vengeant. This event will provide key updates on education legislation in Missouri, offer an opportunity for local school board candidates to connect with voters. I think we have a school board candidate coming up this week, don't we, or next?
Yes.
So
this week.
David Gregory will be there, and the MC will be our favorite, Tim Jones. So be there tomorrow night.
And Tim just tried to call back, so.
No. He fell asleep during my story. Forget it. It's over. He's done. We'll talk to him next week. Fake News is next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home. Face for Radio.
Follow us on Rumble at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Woosh, woosh.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Hey, Columbo here for Rockwood Charcoal. Rockwood is made from 100% pure Missouri oak and hickory, so you're cooking with the best and supporting local industry and a local business all at once. There's over 100 area Rockwood retailers. Find yours at rockwoodcharcoal.com.
When you've been hurt in an accident, you need a law firm that wins. Onder wins. For over 100 years, Onder Law has been winning for St. Louis. With over $5 billion in negotiated settlements and over $300 million in verdicts, Onder wins. Voted best law firm by STL Today 2 years in a row, Onder wins. Whether it's settlements, verdicts, or awards, Onder wins. If you've been hurt in a car accident, trucking accident, or hurt on the job, Onder Law will get you the money you deserve. At Onder Law, winning is what we do. So when the stakes are high, Onder wins. Call us today for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless we win for you. Dial 314 or 6189 million. That's 314 or 6189, then all zeros. Or visit us online at onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hi, I'm Helene Tobler, culinary nutritionist at Body of Health Direct Primary Care. Here we do practical wellness. Dr. Randy and I have a common sense approach to healthcare. My passion is helping our members enjoy better nutrition because food is medicine. We approach problems with a lifestyle foundation and cutting-edge medical tool chest. At Body of Health, it's about being your healthiest you. If you want to experience healthcare the way it ought to be, schedule a discovery call today at bodyofhealth.com. That's bodyofhealth.com.
Craving the freshest in town? Anthony's Produce is your daily destination for nature's finest. Start your day with warm, fresh baked Fazio's bread delivered daily. Browse our rainbow of quality fruits and vegetables, always fresh, always delicious. Hosting an event? Let us create stunning fruit bouquets and veggie trays, or treat someone special to our chocolate-covered strawberries. We proudly stock hundreds of locally made products, and yes, we even have seasoned firewood. Anthony's Produce opens 7 days a week, 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. at 701 Jungerman Road or anthonysproduce.com.
News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Our favorite Lady Marine, Kate Monroe, joins us at 5:20 to talk about helping veterans and working at the border.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Woosh, woosh. Woosh, woosh.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Exponentially.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Yikes. Can I just say one thing about the song?
Oh, yeah.
Of all the stops, right, that you were putting the wishes in?
Yeah.
My wife bought this thing. It's called the Dancing Flower, right? And it's like a daisy. It's got a face.
Right.
And when we saw it out at a mall, he had a whole garden of these things. And when they hear music, they dance. It's like sound activated, right?
Yeah.
So we put this song on. It's like da da da, and dance, dan dan, and stopped. And I started dancing again.
Oh, that's cute.
And
I
you
like
know
that.
what? There's a video. Jessica made a video of it. I'll have to find it and
Okay.
send it to you. We can play it for the people.
Yeah, let's put it out there.
All right. It becomes more and more important for us to point out, like you already didn't know, about the fake news, because it's really, really, really getting offensive now.
Yeah.
It's not just like now it's offensive. So let's do some fake news.
We are fighting the fake news. It's fake.
Fake news.
Phony. Fake.
Fake news.
I was too early there. All right, so it's fake news. I mean, you know, the news is the fake news. But we're gonna, hey, and you know what? Today's double fake news.
That's right.
How about that? So today we're going to start with last night's what do they call ABC World News Tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. With David Muir, you remember him? He moderated the debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Tried to fact check Trump 20 times, let Kamala say whatever lie she wanted to. We remember that.
Right.
So this is David Muir followed up by an everyday American voter.
We're watching the high-stakes elections tonight in 2 states, the first major test for President Trump, and Elon Musk spending millions on the race in Wisconsin. What the voters are saying about Musk getting so involved.
If I loved that judge, I would vote against him because I don't think a billionaire should be buying our judiciary.
So she doesn't think a billionaire should buy our judiciary. Conveniently left out of that story is how much money George Soros put into the liberal candidate.
Well, not only that, but he put money into our local elections for lawyers and for prosecuting attorneys. He's done it all over the country, Vic.
But my point is, Ken, that news story was last night. That was last night's ABC World News Tonight. 2 things they missed. First thing is that the liberal judge won that election in Wisconsin, which is going to screw up the whole districting in Wisconsin. But he failed to mention that Matt Gaetz' old seat will indeed be replaced by a Republican.
Right.
2 Republicans won seats in a special election in Florida last night.
Correct.
They forgot to mention that.
Yeah. They mentioned it in the morning show, but on today's show this morning. But the thing is, they're not adding things that should be said along with what they're talking about. Like you mentioned, they mentioned all this stuff about the left and what's going to happen with the lawyer, with the judge, but they didn't say why it's so important that this judge be elected, because it has to do with gerrymandering and squeezing out the Republican Congress people.
Now, did the Today Show say that it was a test for Donald Trump?
Yes, they did.
So they didn't talk about the Florida special elections, which was also a test for Donald Trump that he won?
Well, they mentioned it, but here's the thing. They mentioned it. Okay, they said yes, and by the way, 2 people won, 2 Republicans won in Florida. But they focused on everything happening. oh, well, Trump put all of his eggs in this basket in Wisconsin and he lost. I mean, that's what their focus was. Let's be real.
Can you play a little bit of that again?
Yeah.
Because I want you to play the whole thing, but then when he's done talking, stop, because I want to say something before that voter goes. So go ahead.
We're watching the high-stakes elections tonight in 2 states, the first major test for President Trump, and Elon Musk spending millions on the race in Wisconsin. What the voters are saying about Musk getting so involved.
Stop. So they said how much money Elon Musk put into this election, but they failed to say that do they think George Soros is a secret? Do they think we don't know about George Soros?
Yeah, well, they never mention him. They never mention him.
They don't want America to know about him. And it's too late. We already know about him. Anyway, so now what you're going to hear is this lady. So let's make believe there was different results from last night. Let's say the conservative won, and the subject was that George Soros put all that money into the Democrat Party. What would a voter say about that?
If I loved that judge, I would vote against him because I don't think a billionaire should be buying our judiciary.
It all depends upon what side you're looking at.
So, but if it's a Democrat billionaire, it's okay.
Right.
Because that's a good guy.
All right. Let's move on to part 2 of fake news, double fake edition. Is that good enough?
That's pretty good.
All right. So this is our favorite CBS News liar, Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes. This is just beyond offensive.
The terrorists became very mean and very cruel and violent.
More so.
Much more so. They were beating me and starving me.
Do you think they starved you or they just didn't have food?
No, I think they starved me, and they would often eat in front of me and not offer me food.
That was so offensive to ask.
This makes me so mad.
Do you think they just didn't have food, so that's why they couldn't feed you? What the hell? What side is she on? The terrorist side? Because we're not talking about, illegal immigrants now. We're not talking about people that we sound insensitive about when we say, send them back to the country that they came from. We're talking about bona fide Hamas terrorists who not only didn't feed him, not because they didn't have food, but they ate food in front of him.
Yeah.
So you hungry? You want some?
Oh, too bad. Sorry. And she had to add that. I mean, if I was interviewing this guy, my sympathy, I couldn't have empathy, but my sympathy for this person would have been all about that moment. Would have been like, okay, that really is bad. And we really feel sorry for you and we feel bad for you. She immediately went to the Hamas people and worried about whether or not, they may not have had food.
You know what I wish? I wish that guy had a T-shirt that had the faces of Kafir and Ariel, the 2 little kids who were killed by Hamas.
Yeah.
Do you think she would have said it if he did? And even the mom?
I think she would have. I think she
would have went there anyway?
Sure.
She
has no
she
soul.
would have said, do you think Hamas killed these people or they just caught a bad cold and died of pneumonia?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe. Yeah.
She
has no soul.
Offensive.
Yeah. I mean, just the way she nonchalantly said that.
And violent.
More so.
Much more so. They were beating me and starving me.
Do you think they starved you or they just didn't have food?
What a piece of
stuff. And she
is the worst possible human in the world. I swear to God. When Donald Trump said to her when they were on 60 Minutes together, he said, Leslie, they spied on my campaign. We can't verify that with that smug. Sir, this is 60 Minutes. We can't verify that. And the whole Russian collusion thing. I still think that there are people in this country who aren't smart enough to listen to or watch any conservative media of any kind, who truly think that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians and won the 2016 campaign election.
They still talk about it. Hillary Clinton will talk about it. She's the OG of election deniers. She says that. And I mean, she actually brings that stuff up. In fact, when she's I guess she still gets speaking engagements.
I guess. Who are you talking about?
Oh, Hillary Clinton. And she keeps bringing this thing up, and it's crazy the way she does all this stuff, Vic, and the way that people I call them low information voters, because, and it's not altogether their fault. It is their fault, but they just don't research. They don't take the time to find out the truth.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there are people in the United States who are A, Jewish, B, support Israel, and C, have emotional feelings about the Holocaust like our friend Karen Cataline has? Do you think and is a liberal? Do you think that there are people like that?
And are liberal?
Well, at least would watch CBS News.
Yeah, I think there are people out there like that.
So when they hear Leslie Stahl say, do you think they were starving you? Or did they just play it again?
Yeah.
God, she's so
The terrorists became very mean and very cruel and violent.
More so.
Much more so. They were beating me and starving me.
Do you think they starved you or they just didn't have food?
No, I think they starved me, and they would often eat in front of me and not offer me food.
Wait a minute. So he brought up, he said they beat me and starved me. Why didn't she say, do you think they were beating you or they were just trying to kill a fly? And the fly was on your face.
I heard this just now.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of paid attention to it this time. And they beat me and they starved me. And she said, well, do you think they starved you because they didn't have any food? Well, what about the beating?
Well, do you think they beat you or just were trying to kill a fly that was on your nose?
Maybe that was
with this whip?
Maybe they saw a mouse and just wanted to hit it.
Oh my God.
It kept going.
She's so bad. I can't. That's all the time we have for fake news.
Oh
God almighty.
We are fighting the fake news. It's fake.
Fake news.
Phony, fake
news.
I always want to sing along with the fake news, and I always blow it. All right, listen, Kenny and I are going out this Friday to Save On Liquor in the Chesterfield Valley. We'll be out there from 9 to noon, and probably longer, actually. We'll probably hang out for a little bit. That's in the old Best Buy building in the Chesterfield Valley. Tomorrow, 9 to noon, be there to celebrate the grand opening of Save On Liquor and Wine's newest location.
Woosh, woosh.
Joe Brazel from the St. Charles County Council. He's next on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show. On News Talk STL. If you find yourself feeling out of place in the world, it's comforting to know conservative values haven't been abandoned everywhere.
Thanks for being my voice in all this.
This is News Talk STL.
There are people out there that feel the way that I feel and say what I say.
Welcome home.
Are you tired of taxes? Then prepare for a knockout evening. Americans for Prosperity and News Talk STL proudly present Torch the Tax, an evening with Mayor Glenn Kane Jacobs. The WWE superstar who became mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, is coming to the St. Charles Funny Bone Wednesday, April 16th. Don't miss this unique opportunity to hear from a champion who's now out of the ring and fighting for taxpayers. Get your free tickets now at afpmissouri.com. That's afpmissouri.com.
Experience the true flavors of Mexico at Dos Primos, O'Fallon's premier Mexican restaurant. From sizzling fajitas to homemade caldo de pollo, every dish is crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes, all made fresh daily in our kitchen. Cool down with our famous margaritas or your favorite cerveza, while our friendly staff makes you feel like family. Dine in or carry out. Visit DosPrimosMexicanRestaurant.com or find us on North Main in O'Fallon.
Jeffco Patriot Radio
on News Talk STL.
This week on Jeffco Patriot Radio, it's the last week of Municipal March, and we're going to have on David Stokes from the Show Me Institute to talk all about municipal policy. Plus, there's some big news happening in Jefferson County politics with the state Senate seat up for grabs.
Jeffco Patriot Radio
on News Talk STL.
Columbo here for my friends at Bluff City Outdoors in Alton. The knowledgeable staff at Bluff City has served the St. Louis outdoor community for decades, and they can take care of all your bow hunting needs, all your trapping needs, all your fishing needs, and more. Plus, while you're there, you can schedule a trip with a local fishing guide and shoot in their archery range. Bluff City Outdoors is open 7 days a week, 1 mile east of Fast Eddie's at 2813 East Broadway in Alton. Follow them on Facebook and at bluffcityoutdoors.com.
Fox News commentary.
President Trump signed an executive order to protect fans from price gouging and predatory ticket scalping. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
National security is at risk, and China controls most of the world's supply of antimony, a critical metal for military and defense technology. Military Metals Corp is taking action and securing a Western-controlled supply with projects in Europe and North America. Critical minerals are the backbone of modern defense. Now's the time to pay attention. The stock trades on the OTC under ticker MILIF. Call your broker today or go to www.militarymetalscorp.com to learn more.
This week, flanked by his longtime ally Kid Rock, President Trump signed an executive order targeting ticket scalpers and other predatory behavior in the live entertainment ticketing industry. The order directs the FTC to work with the AG to ensure competition laws in the concert and ticketing industry are observed. The order also requires full price transparency in the ticket purchasing process, including the resale market. President Trump is committed to making concerts and other live events affordable again. He believes the greedy middlemen, the scalpers, and online bots are jacking up the price of tickets, with the artists and the talent themselves seeing no benefit. The entertainment industry may not be pro-Trump, Taylor Swift, but I hope some of the haters in the industry can appreciate their president looking out for them and their fans. A big thank you once again to President Trump. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
This hour, The Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Proctor Drapery Blinds and Shutters. Proctor, spelled like doctor. ProctorDrapery.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Jefferson County Councilman Billy Crow with a reminder to check out our new show, Jeffco Patriot Radio, this and every Sunday at high noon. Now, back to the Vic Porcelli Show.
Ken? Yeah, Vic. I think you've just managed to include everyone in our Tri-County area.
I think so.
That was from Jefferson County. We got Joe Brazel, St. Charles County Councilman, coming up in a second, and a little later, St. Louis County Councilman, the Honorable Mark Harder. Ramsey Lewis Trio, everybody, in with the in crowd. Mark says he is in with the in crowd, so we'll see how that goes.
Mark is.
All right. Joe Brazel, good morning. Welcome to the show again, buddy. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. Hey, wait a second now. I'm a little offended. You don't ever say the Honorable Joe Brazel. You just said the Honorable Mark Hart. I don't like that.
All right, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Hey, Ken.
Yeah,
I think you represented the entire Tri-County area. You had Jefferson County, the Honorable Joe Brazel from St. Charles County Councilman, and Mark Harder.
Mark Harder.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful. Yeah. And one more question. You said the uninformed voters. Is that the same as being a stupid voter, or is that not? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm sure there are people with a higher IQ than stupid that also are low information voters just politically because they're stupid. Joe, they're just stupid.
No, you guys are just always trying to be polite, and that's nice. I mean, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But no, how's things going? So yeah, we had a council meeting on Monday night, and so Kurt Barr, our infamous election director, he has to get the council approval to destroy records. He was trying to destroy voting records from 2018 or 19 to 2021 and destroy the 2020 ballots and the information that came in from that election. And which on the first meeting, I was adamantly opposed. I'm still adamantly opposed to it, and making points that why would we do that when we know with the new leadership, with Denny Hoskins, with our president, that we know that there were voting problems. We know that Missouri removed 180,000 people from the voter rolls, right? Because they were either dead, they were doubled, they were 14 years old, they're 130 years. So Denny Hoskins' office removed 180,000 voters. So I wanted to see those records from the 2020 and someone do a deep dive in them. And so I guess Steve Ellman he agreed that he had Barr take the 2020 elections out, but they still destroyed all those other records, which I was not in agreement there, because sometimes if there's malfeasance, there's a pattern. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
There's a pattern. So, but they did, and so they voted to destroy those records, but not the 2020. So we got that through, and they also approved $60,000 money on iPads, electronic voting iPads, which I think was really strange when Denny Haskins, along with the president, everyone's talking about going to hand counting. And today they're having a huge event at the Capitol. Our Secretary of State's putting it on hand counting ballots. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that went on the meeting. And then we had a subdivision up in St. Paul trying to cram these high density housing, 5,000, 7,000 square foot lots in St. Paul, which St. Paul is similar to Southwest St. Charles County Defiance, where they have the master plan that says 3 and 5 acre lots, and they're trying to cram all these houses in because the consultants that come out of Chicago and stuff keep saying that we need low income housing, affordable housing. And I'm not opposed to that, but that housing should be along the corridors of Highway 70 and 40 and areas where there's easy transportation. And so that was a big deal. There were 300 people in the meeting, and so that was very controversial. It was tabled. We still haven't voted on it.
So, Joe, I got to ask you a question. Destroying records, that's not a violation of any law?
Well, no, it's the state of Missouri says you got to hold. I think you got to hold voting records for 2 years. I think is what it says, and it could be argued. There was a gentleman that came in there that argued that you have to have permanent records, and he put the federal law on there, showed us, handed it out to us, and I agree with him. You're supposed to have permanent records. So me and Mr. Barr, we debated back and forth. I'm like, well, Kurt, a permanent record is a paper record. You have to keep that. Well, what is permanent doesn't really mean. If it's on storage in your computer, that's not permanent. So he argued with me what permanent means, and our county council doesn't give two craps about the election stuff. I mean, they think I'm just some crazy old conspiracy guy. They really are clueless about the problems that we have with our election authority.
Right. I would have thought that destroying records was bad. And there is not enough there. I guess from what you just said, there is an electronic backup that they're there somewhere, right? The records have to be kept somewhere, don't they?
They're supposed to be kept somewhere. Yeah. And here's the thing, Vic, come on. How much space does it take for these ballots? I mean, what is it? Is it the size of a file cabinet? I don't know. But I said, and I requested, well, let's just hold these records for 8 months. Let's just have time to go through them all and make sure that so there's no patterns. Because not only was the 2020 election, there were some other elections that were very suspicious in St. Charles County when the school board members, every conservative candidate lost in every district, which to me is almost statistically impossible, especially in St. Charles County. And so you got to ask those questions. And that was when I called Kurt Barr up because he wasn't getting, it was 10 o'clock and we're all at an election party and he still didn't have any results. He was at 1%. And so I called him on the phone and I told him that he was a loser and he should be probably in prison. I did say that.
Wow. Holy cow.
And then he did you remember that? Then he charged me. He sends a letter and says that I'm not allowed to talk to anybody in the election authority or talk to him anymore. I'm banned from the election authority. He's censoring me. And he wants his county council to censor me.
So you guys should wrestle. Oh. This is a perfect opportunity. You two should wrestle. All right, let's welcome another esteemed guest to the show. All rise, everybody, please. Off out of your hands on your heart.
From the county of St. Louis. Crime issues, economic development. This is Mark Harder.
It's so stupid. We shouldn't have played that. Because now Joe's going to want his trumpets. And
I'll get one for Joe.
Right, Joe? You want something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that kind of welcome. That's not right. Come on.
All right. Such crybabies. Mark Harder, how are you?
Oh, there it is.
How are you?
Must be Wednesday.
How'd you know?
Double Wish Wednesday.
It's Double Wish.
Prop B, April 8th, coming
That's
up
right.
now.
Prop B, we got to get out.
Yesterday. Oh, my God.
Yes, it's a week from yesterday. And last night or yesterday afternoon, we did a press conference at the election board. Speaking of election board, we used the St. Louis County election board, and we did a press conference about Prop B and about the lies being spread by Sam Page about Prop B.
Yeah.
And so we got talking to people. We talked to people walking in the polls, and everybody's seen these weird mailings that they put out.
This is a new one, by the way.
Yeah, that's the one that came out.
Why
last
do these
week.
keep coming to your house?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're on the list.
Yeah, I'm on the list.
So we had a press conference about it and dispel a lot of these lies that he's coming up about this whole issue. So we got to get people out to vote yes for Prop B for better government, and that will be next Tuesday all day. Or you can vote all this week at various locations throughout the county, mostly in the libraries that we have set up to do the early voting.
Hey, Joe, do you have a thing like this in St. Charles County where you can at least vote on, the council can vote on firing somebody?
No, we don't. But that, Mark, I think that's awesome, and I agree 100% because our charter requires our directors to live in the county, and it went to a vote. Mr. Ullman wanted to have about a bigger pool to hire, and went to a vote at the people 2 years ago, and 78% of people in St. Charles County said you have to live in St. Charles County to be a director. He's got 3 directors that have been there 2 or 3 years, and he calls them interim.
No,
and I agree 100% with what you guys are doing. So we're going to probably follow suit of that, something very similar.
Somebody's going to end up wrestling. I'm telling you right now. Somebody is going to wrestle.
And we need to sponsor it and then have it at a location.
Charity.
Yes.
Mike Ferguson is licensed in midget wrestling, ring announcing.
Cage match.
So listen, but both of you guys, Mark first. Isn't this a money saver for the county? Isn't this kind of thing we look for?
Well, yeah, these are things that give us and the people that are on consuls, and there are 500 consuls across the state that have this provision in their charter or in their bylaws for their city or village or county, and it basically just brings accountability to these jobs.
Yeah.
And in the past and currently, of course, Sam Page has that ability only. He can hire these people. He can fire these people. But if we all remember our good friend, Dr. Khan, during COVID, he was drunk with power and said things at county council meetings, said he was accosted and all these issues. And we found out later.
Middle finger, but
he gave the middle finger to the crowd there in the meeting. And then denied it later on and said that he was, that people were threatening him and all that. And then Sam Page doubled down and supported him, and he went on national TV and embarrassed the county. If we had this power back then, he would have been gone that week.
And by the way, there's video
and he
evidence.
wasn't,
There's video evidence that nobody touched.
Oh
him
yeah,
at all.
nobody touched him.
So you got 3 people up there in St. Charles County that could go, right, Joe?
Well, yes, and I mean they could maybe work for us, but they wouldn't be directors, and so that's just and it already went to a vote of people and it miserably failed, and so I tried to pass an ordinance that said that every 6 months the council should be reviewing the resumes and who they're interviewing to make sure they're trying to move the ball forward, and our council wouldn't support it, and so it's just that we have council members that don't. I believe the legislation and the administration are 2 separate bodies, and it's done that way, so it's effectively run as a government. And we have the administration that just pretty much dictates to some of the council members, and so there's really no separation of power, which is a big problem. And so what St. Louis County doing is 100% spot on. I mean, that's very important for the people to support that.
You up with reviewing every 6 months?
Well, that's
I'm sorry. I was looking at Mark, Joe. I should have said his name. That was my bad. Mark, do you agree about every 6 months review?
I don't know if we have to do that, but having this power to at least have the ability to remove these people from office, and we've seen some benefits recently because of the threat of this. Guess what? Our phone calls are getting answered. Guess what? They're coming to meetings.
Vic, if you had what they're going to have, you wouldn't need what I had. You wouldn't need my 6 month thing. You would just what they're doing is a hell of a lot better.
Got it.
Yeah, ours is is almost the nuclear option, and we're not going to fire people willy nilly. I mean, that's not but we want to have this hanging over their heads so that there's accountability and that there's transparency in what these people do. We rely, and Joe is in the same place. We rely on these people who are highly paid, and we rely on them for good information, the right information, so that we can make informed decisions over millions and millions of dollars of tax money. And if we're not getting the right information, or we're being, I hate to say, lied to, or if we're not getting the whole truth, then we're making bad decisions because we're basing a lot of it on what they tell us or don't tell us.
All right, Joe, you're going to have to get the last question. I was going to ask you, how's the budget up there? You guys got a balanced budget?
Our budget's balanced. Yeah, it always is budget. Yeah, we do well. Our county does well. I mean, we don't have financial problems. I mean, we got a good tax base and we don't overspend, and no, all that's going well. Yeah, no, we're doing good, actually.
Mark,
the county, St. Charles County is hopefully we don't over govern the people, because the people in our county are good people, and so they
Absolutely.
self-govern themselves.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Mark, how's the budget going in St. Louis?
No, we're 30 million to 40 million in the red.
No, what? I don't understand. How does one county have a balanced budget and St. Louis County just can't seem to?
A lot of it goes back years and years ago. It goes back to a different weird tax base that we have. We've got an older population. We got a lot more problems, an infrastructure that's falling apart. Just getting $40 million worth of money pledged towards subdivision streets in unincorporated St. Louis County was a big lift, and it's only going to make a dent based on the aging infrastructure that we have in some of these subdivisions. So, and that's $40 million, and just doesn't go as far as it used to.
All right, that is St. Louis County Councilman Mark Harder and Joe Brazel from St. Charles County. You guys, thank you so much. Let's do this again soon.
All right, thank you guys. See you later.
Okay, thanks.
See you,
guys.
Joe.
All right, bye-bye.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's got to be tough though when you don't have that ability to actually hire and fire people.
Right.
I mean, really.
Yeah, I hate that. Can you read the
Yeah,
red? Read the part in red.
Yeah, this is the new one that was sent
really
to me.
pisses me off.
It says, but here's the rotten part. The measure be passes, it'll give 6 politicians the power to remove the police chief, the county's lawyer, and any department head with or without cause for any reason. It's underneath. It says, "Oh, you don't go along with our political agenda? That's okay. You're fired."
What a disingenuous thing to
Yeah,
send.
and that's all paid for by Sam Page PAC and another PAC that's out there raising money and spending money on that. There is also at least 2 Missouri ethics complaints that have been filed against those brochures and against the spending going forward. So there's a lot of funny business going on behind the scenes. So I hopefully people see through it and vote yes on Prop B on Tuesday.
All right, Mark, thanks so much for coming in. That
Yes
again
on
is
B.
April 8th. Okay. That's a week from yesterday. Ken.
Yeah, I know.
This election day really kind of snuck up on us, you know.
All day.
We got to catch up with
All
school board,
day.
school board candidates and stuff like that. All right. Hey, guess what? We got another hour to go. Sorry, Ken, help me out. Who's joining us from Right to Work?
From Greg Morin.
Morin?
Yeah.
Morin from Right to Work, chat box. And we're going to eat some gyros with Stell and Soulard Gyro on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number 1 for live and local conservative talk.
Nate Lucas here for the Village Bar in the heart of Des Peres. Since 1948, the Village Bar has been the go-to destination for delicious food, cold drinks, and unbeatable atmosphere. Savor their famous wings, burgers, and onion rings, or grab a drink from their fully stocked bar. Catch all the big games and enjoy the company of their friendly staff. Plus, don't miss the 1879 Distillery, a one-of-a-kind experience right next door. The Village Bar offers the best value in town. Find the Village Bar on Facebook and come experience where history meets great times. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, DIY warriors, ready to transform your outdoor space? Start with Lee May Concrete Block, St. Louis's trusted family-owned manufacturer since 1947. Whether you're building a retaining wall, creating a backyard fireplace, or pouring concrete, Lee May's got you covered. From compact blocks to large cast concrete, they provide materials and professional guidance to bring your vision to life. Military and first responders get special discounts. Visit Lee May Block Showroom or LeeMayBlock.com. Lee May Block, building your dream one block at a time.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-335-2299. That's 800-335-2299.
During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places you can't control. Between payroll, your home office, your tax preparer, and the IRS, if your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. President Trump set to announce a new round of tariffs this afternoon. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with the report.
The president has labeled today Liberation Day, and his spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, says the message is simple.
If you make your product in America, you will pay no tariffs.
A major concern, however, is that tariffs on imported goods, from fruits and vegetables to auto parts, will lead to higher prices for consumers. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Ahead of today's announcement, stocks are higher. Also at townhall.com, Republicans won Florida's special congressional elections.
Republicans Jimmy Patronis and Randy Fine, as expected, won special elections in 2 Florida congressional districts. Fine for a seat vacated by Mike Waltz when he was tapped to become President Trump's national security advisor. Patronis to replace Matt Gaetz. The wins bolster Republicans' margin in the House. It's now 220 to 213. However, Democrats did narrow the voter margins considerably from November in 2 of the most heavily Republican districts in the country. I'm Ben Thomas.
The Democratic-backed candidate for the Wisconsin Supreme Court has won, preserving that court's 4-3 liberal majority for at least 3 more years. Susan Crawford defeated Republican-backed Brad Schimmel in a race that broke records for spending. A federal judge has dismissed New York City Mayor Eric Adams' corruption case. Judge Dale E. Ho granted the Justice Department's extraordinary request to set aside criminal charges so the mayor could aid President Trump's immigration crackdown. But the judge denied prosecutors the ability to potentially bring the criminal case back after the mayoral election. Adams had pleaded not guilty to bribery and other charges. The Dow had 60 points, the NASDAQ Composite adding 66 points. This is townhall.com.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I've been thinking, why does it feel like losing weight is harder than ever before? With mixed messages, fad diets, the quick fix injections, even magic coffee. I mean, it's overwhelming. Most people are exhausted trying to fight a battle they cannot win. If you feel this way, trust me, you're not alone. I used to feel that way too. But let me tell you, it's not your fault. Your body is working against you, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Do what I did. I called PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition 3 years ago. I lost 53 pounds. I feel terrific, and I've kept the weight off. Make the phone call that can change your life the way it has changed mine. They won't let you fail. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020 to schedule your consultation. The first 11 callers who mentioned the word healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Call now, 855-696-2020. Mention the keyword healthy to get 2 free weeks, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com, myphdweightloss.com.
This hour of News Talk STL, brought to you by Jewels on Hampton, paying some of the highest prices for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Call 314-752-5000 or visit jewelsonhampton.com.
At Elite Comfort Experts, they don't believe in gimmicks, just guarantees. And now they're teaming up with Amana Heating and Air Conditioning to bring you a 99-year compressor and heat exchange warranty and a 10-year parts and labor warranty on a high new efficiency HVAC system. This exclusive offer is available on qualifying systems installed before April 15th. Choose integrity and quality. Choose Elite Comfort Experts. Call Elite at 636-887-0971 or visit EliteComfortExperts.com. Mention the promo code NewstalkSTL.
Hey, Tim Jones here. For 50 years, St. Louis homeowners have trusted one name with their outdoor dreams, Hydro Dynamics. From custom irrigation systems to stunning outdoor lighting, from expert drainage solutions to beautiful hardscapes, they transform ordinary yards into extraordinary dreamscapes with certified experts that work with you to bring your vision to life, delivering unparalleled service every step of the way. Ready to make your dreamscape a reality? Visit hydrodynamicscore.com. That's hydrodynamicscore.com.
When you're approaching retirement, there are a lot of questions to answer. Do you have enough money to fund your income for life? How should you claim Social Security? And what's your plan for health care and long-term care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Don't leave your retirement to chance. It's crucial to understand and address relevant risks before you retire. Our team can help you get organized, guide you through critical retirement decisions, and create an investment portfolio designed around your needs. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Ken?
Yes, Vic.
One of these days, I'm going to get two guys to wrestle.
One of these days, I think you will.
I thought we had it today.
I did too.
And if it were up to Joe Brazel, he'd do it.
He would.
All right.
Yeah, Joe's ready. Joe's more than ready.
Always.
He's primed.
Always ready for a fight. Coming up this hour at the end of the show, Soulard Gyro is going to come in. We're going to have a little Gyro party. And Stel is going to be here. Stel, babe. He's our token Greek, and he's going to have some Gyros with us. Chat box at 11:25 today, guys, okay? I know you guys like to, be where you are all the time, but don't fear change.
Embrace it.
Embrace change. Thank you, Ken. That's what I needed right there. And right now, Greg Morad from Right to Work joins us. Greg, how you doing?
Great, Vic. How are you?
Okay. Mark Mick's a little too busy to be with us. What's his problem?
Oh, Mark's got a lot going on right now.
Whatever. He always used to have time for us. Now he's a big shot, and he doesn't have time for us anymore. All right. So, I got to tell you, back during the campaign, the 2024 campaign, Sean Fain from the UAW says, "No, we're endorsing Kamala." Now, our rank and file is probably going to vote for Trump, but we're still going to vote for Kamala Harris. So, I'm going to bring him up again in a second, but let's just hear you respond to that. Why would you not endorse the candidate that most of your rank and file are going to vote for?
Well, the reason he does that is because his, like most of the union bosses' power comes from government policy, and so the most important thing for them is maintaining their government granted special privileges, and so of course they're always going to want to support the candidates that promise to maintain and even increase those government granted special privileges, like the ability to compel people to pay dues.
And just yesterday, or 2 days ago it was, I saw a quote from him that said, these tariffs are great. They're going to bring high-paying jobs to middle-class America. I'm all for it. Well, what the hell, man? Why don't you say you're going to endorse the guy that brought up the tariffs to begin with?
Yeah, wouldn't that make a lot of sense? But again, the most important thing for them is their government-granted special privileges, like forcing people to pay dues and the other tools they have to let them force themselves and their so-called representation on workers that don't really want them. And that is, at the end of the day, the only thing they really care about when it comes time to issue endorsements.
Let's talk strategy here a little bit, Ken.
Yeah.
If the mainstream, I'm sorry, what do you call them?
The legacy Pfizer media.
Legacy Pfizer media. If they think that Donald Trump's tariff plan is such a bad idea, why don't you just be quiet, let him do it, and if you think it's going to fail, let him fail, right? So they must know it's going to work.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is do what you did with Joe Biden. Don't say anything negative and let the inflation go.
I think they're afraid of the whole policy, Greg, because they know it's going to work long term.
Yeah, could be. And if it works economically, that's great. If it doesn't work economically, but it does work as a foreign policy tool, that's good too. So, yeah.
So we're not against unions here, It's just that the reason I've never given you this whole thing, Greg. I've given it to Mark a million times. I found out about Right to Work when it was explained to me that a guy is a union member, pays his dues, and then he sees union leaders spend that money for things that this union member doesn't approve of. Is that a fair statement?
That's a very fair statement. It happens all the time.
And
we're not just talking embezzlement and spending it on a limousine lifestyle.
Not Jimmy Hoffa stuff.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's that, but sometimes it's simply that he doesn't like the bargaining that they're doing for him.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So, all right, let's go back to the heads of the two big unions. I think besides the NEA, Teamsters and UAW, the two biggest unions, right? So, Sean O'Brien gets invited to the Republican National Convention. I told the story the other day. We were watching the convention, and I had to go to the bathroom. I had to pee, So I'm in the bathroom, and I hear my wife in the living room go, "Sean O'Brien?" And I was like, "What?" So I, hurried up real quick, wash my hands, and watch. And there's Sean O'Brien speaking at the Republican National Convention. I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" Now, Sean wasn't smart enough either to endorse Donald Trump. He didn't endorse anybody, but Sean Fain wasn't invited to the Republican National Convention. No, I don't even think he was at the Democrat National Convention.
No, I don't believe he was. But, he's at the Republican convention because he knows that his members are voting for the Republican candidate.
So why not?
And he himself is a politician. He's got to win election at that union. And so he's doing what he can within his constraints. He's never going to endorse a Republican, but he can at least be showing his people that at least an appearance of open-mindedness.
Doesn't seem like a good strategy to me, because right, if you want to win the election and your rank and file is voting for the Republican, well, you better maybe change your own election stance, your own campaign stance if you're running for president of the Teamsters.
Well, you'd think so, but again, the overriding priority is getting elected the candidates that increase his coercive power. That nothing trumps that for him.
Hey, Greg and Vic,
no pun intended.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys remember back in 2018 in Illinois, they had the Janus decision where he was allowed to choose whether or not he's going to pay his union dues? Remember that, Greg?
Oh, yeah, that was our case.
Yeah, that was your case. And now, has that changed? Has that evolved Illinois style since then?
Well, I mean, the black letter decision by the Supreme Court has not changed. No government employee can be forced to pay union dues.
Good.
Now, that said, states like Illinois have found ways to make it exceedingly difficult to exercise your right not to pay union dues. They create these window periods, and they say, well, you've got a 1-week period at the end of every contract in which you can opt out. And they've come up with all these other schemes. And so far, in a lot of places, they're getting away with at least a lot of them. So even though public employees do have a right not to pay, there are states like Illinois that are creating a whole bunch of hurdles you got to jump over to exercise that right.
And Greg, that's what I was talking about when I said Illinois style evolution.
Right.
That's it exactly.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
Oh,
all right.
man.
So I want to get back to this pay and dues thing. Okay. Because I got to tell you, I was a member of AFTRA because I worked in Philadelphia, and you had to be a member of AFTRA to work there, right? And I guess I paid my dues, and then when I wasn't at union stations anymore, I didn't. And then when I lost my job in 2016, like, well, we can't help you because you haven't paid your dues. So do you have to pay your dues or do you not have to pay your dues?
Well, it depends partly whether you're in a right to work state or not, and it depends on the nature of the union's relationship with the industry. Now, in the broadcasting industry, it's very, very messy and complicated, and the union has a whole lot of power, even in right to work states where they shouldn't, not necessarily because of actual force of law, but because so many employers just refuse to hire non-union people, whether that's legal or not.
Right. I mean, I think Missouri is a right to work state, aren't we?
No, unfortunately, you're not. We passed a right to work law out there back in, I want to say 2016 or 17.
Yeah.
But, Missouri, you all are one of those unfortunate states where anything the legislature does, anybody that gathers enough petitions can put a repeal on the ballot before it ever even goes into effect. And that's what happened out there.
Okay, that's, yeah.
And, so the unions spent $30 million compared to pro-right to work forces spending maybe a total of $3 million on a ballot fight. It's really hard to go up against 10-to-1 money disadvantage. And, forced dues in Missouri is a $150 million annual revenue stream. I mean, I know what I would spend to defend a $150 million annual revenue stream.
Wow.
The union spent as much as they thought they needed to, and they'd have spent more and been happy to do it if they thought they needed to.
Well, now this is a double problem here, because the last election in November, we had a pretty important referendum on the ballot, the initiative petition law, right? And that failed, didn't it, Ken?
Yeah.
So we don't have that. What you just said, we don't even have that. We can't get referendum on the ballot because there's no initiative petition law.
Yeah, it's a mess out there for sure.
Well, you sound defeated.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm going to hang myself now.
Yeah, that's
right
pretty
after
much
this interview. I'm going to hang myself with my own bed sheet. So anyway, I don't know. It just seems to me like, because people really demonize right to work, don't they? I mean, you guys must get sick of hearing that.
Well, big labor certainly wants to demonize it, but the fact of the matter is, right to work is a simple, basic, grassroots freedom issue. Should you be forced to pay union dues, or should it be up to you to decide whether that union is actually doing a service and offering a service that you appreciate? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't be forced to pay for representation that's been forced on you.
I don't know. Ken, you got anything you want to gripe about?
No, I think you covered it all. You guys have both depressed me now, so we're okay.
I'm gonna go see how many donuts I can eat in record time.
No, I think it's great for the people of Illinois listening, though. I mean, that with the Janus decision, except they've made changes to it like they normally would, and that's the problem. Is that you might get a decision on your part, but then they change it. They can do things to modify it. It messes it all up.
All right, Greg Morad from Right to Work. Great to have you on. Say hi to Mark Mix. Apologize for whatever we did wrong, because he hates us now for some reason. I don't know what his problem
He
is.
doesn't hate you. I'm sure he'll be happy to get on with you next time you've got a slot.
And you know what I want you to ask him? I want you to ask him a question, okay? He likes Bill Cosby's old comedy from back in the 60s, you know? And he referenced the Buck, things, a piece of paper. Somebody threw a piece of paper on top of me. So we always have fun with Buck. And I actually found a photograph, okay, of kids in Philadelphia playing Buck. Okay. Does anybody else do that for him? I don't think so.
I'll make that point to him, Vic. We'll make sure he's available next time you need him.
All right. You're great, Greg.
Yeah,
we
really
like picking
enjoyed
on
you, Greg.
We just like picking on him. All right, Greg Morrow, thank you so much for your time.
All right, y'all take care.
Take care, Greg.
Ken, I think I got that IP thing mixed up. It's been so long since November, I forgot all about it. But the initiative petition thing was to get rid of petitions or to be able to vote. I think I got that wrong.
Yeah, it has something to do with the Missouri Constitution and being able to codify things in the Constitution or not.
Because I remember saying close to November, when you walk into Walmart or any other store, you got people there with a clipboard.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, you want to sign a petition for women's health? But it actually was for abortion.
Right.
So I think we were trying to get legislation against petitions, the initiative petition.
Right.
It hasn't been that long. I don't know how I forgot.
Well, when they're pouring the kind of money they did into it on the left, I mean, they do that all the time. And Missouri, for some reason, they do it, and it's easy for them to do and get away with, because they give them these flowery titles and that are so sweet, and it turns out to be the exact opposite.
I don't think Right to Work is against unions. I think they're against union leadership that are corrupt.
Yeah. Marx actually said this before. It's not that they're against unions. They just don't want people to be required to pay for something that they're not even being represented on.
Right. So
like you said, there's a guy who's paying all these dues in, and then he sees his leadership do things that he does not approve of, but yet he's stuck because he still has to pay the money to support them. And that's kind of goes the same way with I have this big deal with AARP. I won't participate in that, because what they do is they take all the money that you put into memberships every year, and they'll go to DC, and they're a real left wing organization, AARP.
Yeah.
And their lobbyists go in there, and then they lobby for all the things that we don't subscribe to.
Let me ask you, if not AARP, who should we use?
Well, IMAC, I think, IMAC.
Is it AMAC?
Or AMAC? I don't belong to either now.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's AMAC, and they're not as powerful, and they're not as they probably don't have as many benefits as AARP. But hey, you do get a a duffel bag with
Duffel bag.
AARP.
A nice tote bag.
Yeah, tote bag.
Nice tote bag that says thank you for joining AARP.
Right.
Okay. So we've got a lot of things going on here at the station we want to let you know about. First of all, Ken and I.
We've been busy. We're going to be busy.
I love it, man. Absolutely love it. Ken and I will be out at Save on Liquor and Wine in Chesterfield. Now, we've done a few of these with them. And when I say we, I mean we as a station, supporting their newer locations, right?
Yeah.
And supporting the business. They sound like good guys. And, they love having us out there. So this is our big test because I loved having Tim and Chris out there.
Right.
So we got to make sure we're on.
So we can't get thrown out of there.
Good behavior. Let's not get booted from the Save on Liquor and Wine in Chesterfield. That's this Friday, by the way. Ken and I out there from 9 to noon, but they're going to have a great big grand opening celebration 9 to 11 o'clock at night, for God's sakes. Yeah. Stop by, say hi, have a free tasting. It's at 17379 Chesterfield Airport Road, but I don't think you need that. All you need to know is it's in the old Best Buy building in the valley there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 9 to noon, to celebrate the grand opening of Save on Liquor and Wine's newest location.
And I was talking to our sales guru, Ethan Way, about them.
Mm-hmm.
He said it is amazingly large. And if you can't find something there that has anything to do with alcohol or libations of any kind, then you're not going to find it.
Or it doesn't exist.
Or it doesn't exist.
Right, because they probably have everything. So be sure you join us for that. Lots of stuff going on with the radio station. We appreciate your support, as always. When we come back, Ken, let's do the chat box.
Let's do it.
You up for that?
Yeah.
Is it okay that we're not doing it in the normal spot?
No, we're good.
And by the way, my question is, what the hell with this picture of me eating a donut looking like a Pixar character?
It's an artificial intelligence creation.
You had to explain that? You thought people thought that was really
No,
what I look like?
no.
Why did you explain it?
Because-
Vic, that's AI. That's not really how fat you are.
It could have been a lister painting it.
But I am that fat. That's the problem.
No, you're not. It's funny, though.
How long are you going to leave that up?
I don't know. Today.
No, I meant today. How long?
To the end of the day.
Segment. Oh, so you got another couple of segments to go to our stream and look at that picture. Whose idea was this, by the way?
I'm not sure.
Let me guess. Nick Schroer?
Maybe.
We're not having him on anymore. That's it.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Woosh. Woosh.
Box next on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL, #1 for live and local conservative talk.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. Vic and Ken. Ken can dunk a basketball. Vic can dunk a donut. The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
In the media.
1019 and 94.1.
They lying about what's going on in America. They lying about it.
News Talk STL.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Never paint again with Rhino Shield. Listen to what a couple of happy customers have to say.
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted. Our building was really faded. You came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
What a wonderful job they did. It's beautiful. They were very thoughtful, kind, considerate guys. Appreciate all the work that these two young men did.
Call Rhino Shield, 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Spring is in the air, and so are the savings at Johnson Heating and Cooling. Let our family take care of your family's heating and cooling needs. Right now through May 15th, get a complete air conditioning checkup for just $99. Fully licensed and insured with free estimates, and we service all brands. Comfort meets affordability. That's the Johnson Heating and Cooling promise. Call 636-332-4141 or visit johnson-heatingandcooling.com.
Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
You know what's going on?
Have a great awakening.
You see through the smoke screen.
It's cool to be woke. News Talk STL. Until it's not. News, analysis, opinion. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I had a guardian angel by my side. I called her Mamaw. Now, she once told me when she found out that I was spending too much time with a local kid who was known for dealing drugs, that if I ever hung out with that kid again, she would run him over with her car. And she said, JD, no one will ever find out about it.
On News Talk STL.
Rod Stewart, Hot Legs, right?
Hot Legs.
From Footloose and Fancy Free. Cool thing about, well, let's let him hear him sing. Oh, a little bit. First of all, Billy Peak from St. Louis on guitar. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Okay? And the Footloose and Fancy Free didn't have a side 1 and side 2, the album. It had slow side, fast side.
That's interesting.
So one sides were all kind of, you're in my heart.
Right.
And then the end was this and Born Loose, stuff like that.
Right.
So, very innovative, I thought. All right. We got a lot of stuff to carry here, to do here. God, what is my problem? Do you have any idea?
No.
Let's go to Rumble today. Is that okay if I make that decision? Barry Biggs is numero uno. First one in. Numero uno. He says, Barry, I waited for you to be first today. You're welcome. Oh, throwing him a bone.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. No fair elections.
No peace.
No fair tariffs.
No peace.
No rigged elections. No chat box. Barry's laying down the law. Good morning, Vic and Ken, fellow Vickheads. Hi, thank you very much. Good morning, all you beautiful Mega Maca, ultra-patriotic, deplorable, garbage-ing, degenerate, freedom-fighting, God-fearing Vickhead weirdos. Is he putting more words in there?
I think so.
I think he is. He's killing me. Mayorkas is scum. Then he's got this emoji. It looks like a pile of...
Scum?
Yeah, no, a pile of,
Doo-doo?
Yeah.
You must have got manure for your brains.
Oh, doo-doo paper? Newsmax Media Incorporated announced Wednesday that 21-time Emmy Award winner Wendy Bell on Saturday will premiere her new show, Wendy Bell Common Sense.
Oh, good.
All right. Host of the Wendy Bell radio program. All right, we just got that.
Well, Newsmax is making a run for it, man. I mean, they're going after Fox. I think that's a great thing.
I think so too, Ken, but here's the deal. You need personalities, not just people who are going to say their opinion or read the news, right? They have a lot of good guys on Newsmax, like the guy that loves to imitate Trump. I forget his name. But, like Jesse Waters, he is a powerful personality.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, when he comes on every night, he goes, prime time, tonight.
Yeah.
And then they run through some of the things they're going to. So every night I go, tonight. Just because sick of me. Nome. Kristi Noem did not violate Geneva Convention rules. They state you were supposed to demean prisoners of war. Nothing was demeaning, and it was technically not a war. So go away, libtards.
Go away.
So she was just standing there in front of the cell with as many people as they packed into those cells in El Salvador.
Right.
She wasn't demeaning them, and there's no war.
Right, no war. And when I had first mentioned those cells that we first saw them, remember that picture we saw and we commented on them? I said they were 5 high.
Right.
The bunk beds they're 4 high.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's so funny that the left. This is why you can't trust them, not even to give you little bitsy, teeny weeny pieces of information. So somebody said, "Hey, I bet that's against the Geneva Convention rules." And then somebody who looked at it said, no, it's really not. That's okay.
But it still is.
Nobody will know.
Yeah.
And then our listeners went out and found the actual thing. FanDuel is the old Bally Sports Midwest. It's the same station on cable. So there's a cable station called FanDuel?
I guess.
Can you bet right there on the TV screen and who you want to bet on?
That's probably coming.
Add in the safety factor downtown, you get low attendance. So, when we talked about the Cardinals and why nobody's going, we forgot to mention that the Cardinals suck. Front office sucks. And there's like some kind of silent protest going on because they're not really putting the team on the field that we want.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger thing. I don't know if the Cardinals are sucking right now. I mean, they're winning, but it's the management. They're not putting any equity in behind good talent.
So that and the fact that, pass the crime bill, and maybe we'll go downtown and watch a game.
Yeah.
All right. Between Mark McGuire testifying in Congress and pay to watch lost interest. A lot of people lost interest in baseball. I just
the pay to watch thing's important. It's a big deal because you lose a connection there.
And also, the wokeness. Remember when they were taking a knee and all that crap? But now they're not doing that. But I still can. I know I'm being such an old fart bitch about this, but the way they changed everything with the pitch count, and you can only throw over to first a few times, and the guy on second during extra innings. It's not the game it used to be.
It is not the game. And I don't understand that they had to realize that, especially that thing you just mentioned about throwing to first base only a couple of times, whatever. That's a big, important thing for the pitcher's psyche. That the psychology between the pitcher and the batter is a ongoing thing that they use the thrower to first base to affect that. And if they can't do that, that just minimizes the game even more.
So that's a player's perspective. From a fan's perspective, when your player is on first and the other guy throws to first, we're supposed to boo, right?
Right. Of course.
So, and I used to say before they started using instant replay, I would say if you went back to 1927 and watched a baseball game, it's the same game, the same exact game, nothing different from then. And now it's not that anymore.
Right.
It's just not that anymore.
No.
All right.
I mean, I love my Cardinals. The idea of the Cardinals, I grew up with them. I mean, I was always a huge Cards fan. Our whole family were Cards fans.
I still want them to win.
Yeah.
I just don't want to witness it.
It's just weird.
All right.
I don't know.
Ed says cars are broken into all the time, not publicized. You're never going to see News Channel 5 on your side. Talk about that. Anybody going to save on this Friday? Look at Barry rounding up the troops.
All right. Come on out.
Look at these ugly white hogs. Oh, this is a guy who doesn't like us. Woosh, good morning, all freedom fighting patriot Vic heads. How about that Blues game last night? Scored with 27 seconds in the third period and then scored in overtime. And they have a 10-game winning streak right now. The record is 17. Why not look ahead, see if we can break a record?
Yeah.
Whoosh it up. Cuba says, come on.
Whoosh.
Whoosh it up. Let's go Blues. I get tired of hearing about crime bill after crime bill after crime bill, state and federal. How about this? Empower the police, arrest the criminals, double UG. You know what? Maybe now that the state has taken over St. Louis City Police, maybe we can get something done.
Yeah.
Congress, Republicans are free thinkers. Dems are lockstep lemmings. Was that a drive-by, Lester? I don't know what that means.
Oh, they on the streams, you have to understand that the name Lester refers to any of those
I didn't know that. That's their name.
Yeah,
Lester. Got it.
So
How
he
did I miss
was a drive-by Lester.
I don't know how. I don't know how I missed that. The EPA museum was a great idea for Joey's 10%. I don't think Demsheviks, I like that, Demsheviks, actually believe much of what they say. They need wedge issues, so they create them. That's Amy, one of our newest listeners, who I think we can welcome her to the show one more time, can't we? We like doing that. Leftists, start mind-washing children early in school and throughout their entire educational experience. Enough said.
Hey, how you doing?
The lip turds always spout separating kids, throwing grandma over the cliff, stopping cancer research, etc. Give us a break. Your lemmings are shrinking.
Yeah.
David Muir is the worst. I agree, Amy. And Wisconsin is doomed. and maybe the country, because that's 2 more seats I think that the left picked up there.
Well, no, the big fear here is that judge is going to gerrymander and remove Republican strongholds in districts.
And we're going to lose 2 seats there.
Yeah.
Sucks. Republicans can't keep from shooting themselves in both feet. Luna picking this time to fight for a remote voting right. Done with her and all that follow her. I don't know if we have to go that far. Isn't she the one that wants to do the
I don't know
proxy
if you should
voting?
completely dismiss her, but yeah, the proxy vote. I don't agree with that. I think you need to be there because you know what's going to happen. It happens every time. You under the premise that the Republicans are going to use it the way it's supposed to be used, of course. But then the Democrats are going to take it and put it on steroids and make other people vote for that person. They're going to try it.
With that being said, she said that there is never before seen video that proves that there was a conspiracy to kill JFK. Well, I want to see that video.
I'd like to see it. Yeah.
Leslie Stahl, resign now. She really is horrible. Yes, she is.
Oh,
A little bit.
Purposely avoid watching it. You know what? I get it, but I have to watch so I can see what they're saying, so I can get on here and make fun of them.
Yeah.
The next day.
Right.
That's kind of like what we do. Joe Brazel's a great guy, very popular with his constituents.
I love having him on.
God bless Mark Carter. I don't know how he keeps his right mind. St. Louis County is bonkers. These guys should be regulars. Love to hear from them. I think that was a fun little segment.
Little exchange, yeah.
Right?
And Mark, he's got to go through a lot of stuff. He's got to jump through hoops because this Sam Page, man, he's just ruthless. He's not going to give up. He's not going to give up.
Cinderfer says, would it kill you? Would it kill you to hit the like button?
Hey, how you doing?
You don't even have to exit the chat box. It's right there. Yeah, hit the like button for us, would you?
Please.
Do us a favor. And please go get our
This is taking forever.
Our podcasts, it helps us out. It doesn't seem like much, but if you go get our podcasts every day, it helps us out greatly, right?
Oh, it does.
Get me out of here!
Fair enough. We're going to have a little Soulard Gyro party next on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Number 1 for live and local conservative talk and live and local Gyro food.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli Show.
I'm going to grab a bite to eat. You want like a sandwich or something? What kind of sandwich ain't too fattening? I have the sandwich.
On News Talk STL. The Almond Report.
Hey, Wednesday on the Almond Report, world famous Renaissance man Rick Pogue and all of the hardcore common sense conservatism you can stand.
Jamie Allman. Live and local, weekdays at noon on News Talk STL.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is sending out an SOS. We're expanding fast and need your help. We need a flooring warehouse expert pronto. We need a flooring scheduler just as fast. Join our growing team at Michael's Flooring Outlet with locations in St. Peters, Darden Prairie, and Creve Coeur. Don't wait. Visit michaelsflooringoutlet.com and click on careers today. Michael's Flooring Outlet, where great floors begin with great people.
There's no pizza like Napoli Brothers Pasta and Pizza in the district Chesterfield Valley. That's because in Napoli, your pizza is in a coal-fired oven. One taste, you're going to want more. Grab a gift card. Good for all Napoli locations. And a few doors down, enjoy the atmosphere of Lit Cigar Lounge. High-end cigars, single-barrel whiskey. Before you leave, pick up gift cards for family and friends at Lit Cigar Lounge.
News Talk STL is proud to have Doug Voss of Safe Money Radio as part of our lineup each week. Doug has been a staple on the St. Louis radio airways for many years as one of the leading financial experts in the area. You can now hear Doug and Safe Money Radio 3 times every week yet on News Talk STL. But in case you miss anything, you can check it all out at DougVossSafeMoneyRadio.com. What else do our listeners need to know, Doug?
Simply put, I focus on helping pre-retirees and retirees build, preserve, and protect retirement assets, and I've been helping my clients clients solve their insurance and financial needs for the past 33 years. I also strive to educate my clients on how to prepare for retirement, minimize the impact of market volatility on their assets, and deal with the challenges of increased longevity. Call me today at 844-676-SAFE. That's 844-676-7233.
Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
One way out, baby. Lord, I just can't go out the door. One way out, baby. Lord, I just can't go out the door. 'Cause there's a man down there. Might be old man, I don't know.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Live and be well.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Because there's a man down there. Might be your man. I don't know. There's some cheating going on in that song.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Let's eat, man. We got some of our newest friends in. Okay, I'm going to try to do this on my own here. Vidad.
Yeah.
And Ernad. Your brothers?
No.
Sisters?
Something like that.
From Soulard Gyro, because we've been talking about it for a long time. We had some not too long ago, and it was absolutely outstanding. And then we said, we're going to eat Greek. We got to invite our token Greek, which happens to be Stel Babe.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here.
There he is.
I'm ready.
Have you had this, Soulard?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
I knew it. I knew it. I was just sneaking off to Soulard.
Oh, yeah, he's told me. Yeah.
Going back to their original location in Soulard.
Yeah, Soulard. Yeah.
All right, you guys both going to talk? If you do, you got to share the mic like Paul McCartney and
I'll
George
talk to
Harrison.
most.
Oh my God, you guys get along, or do you guys?
No. It's just.
You guys going to wrestle? Because that would be good on the stream.
Later.
You got your friends watching, right?
Yeah.
So I got to ask you a question. You guys are Greek. The movie Big Fat Greek Wedding. Is there always an old guy that has a Windex bottle that's cleaning everything? Where did that come from?
So actually, I'm 30% Greek. We're actually Bosnian. That's what you know.
What is that?
It's a little small country across the.
Did you say Bosnian?
Yeah.
There's more Bosnians in St. Louis than anywhere else in the world except Bosnia.
Exactly.
From what I understand.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
so how did Bosnia get mixed up with this?
Well, the Ottoman Empire, took over. So that's why Turks, us.
I don't think we got to get that.
I'm just saying that's how my mom been making spanakopita since I was a little kid. We just call it a different name, So
that's a Greek food, what you just said?
Well, Greek food. The Turks would disagree sometimes, but it's always a battle between them two,
Yeah. How about you?
Bosnian, same.
Huh. I had no idea. Bosnians make the Greek food. Oh, yeah. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a lot of cultures that mix a lot of their foods together, whether it's Lebanese, Bosnian, Greek, Albanian, etc. So there's a lot of
Albanians make great budek. Like
I wish I knew what that was. What is that?
It's like tiropito, spanakopita.
Oh, it's just like
just
that.
with meat.
I don't know what that is either.
Nah, just like that.
Gives me an example. Oh, it's just like this other word you don't know. So, because I'm Italian, and Italian food is Italian food. Don't get anybody else's stuff in our food. So that's why it's kind of surprising to me that you guys have mixed. Why did St. Louis get chosen as the Bosnian place to go?
Because it's compared to other cities, cheap to start. Except going to Chicago or somewhere else. St. Louis is pretty affordable when you start now. It's Midwest,
Now, were you born here, or
I was born in Bosnia, and then.
So you're an immigrant.
Yeah, when I was 7, I moved to Germany.
So we hate them. They're immigrants.
I
Republicans
know.
hate immigrants.
I know.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's not right.
No, I'm messing.
No, when you're legal, it makes a whole difference.
Am I right? Is he right?
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
How about you?
Same.
Did you guys come together?
No.
They're in the same
Same boat?
Last night. No.
You're the radio.
Yeah, no, same thing. You know, it was, same thing. Kind of back in Bosnia too. Lived in Germany for like 6-7 years, and I came here when I was 8.
Oh wow!
And the rest is history. Yeah.
Yeah. And you, how old were you?
16.
How old are you now?
39.
How old are you?
24.
34.
I think they're in like the Bosnian mafia. That's what I think. I think
I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, really.
Well, this is your front. You got to have the legal business to front all the other stuff. Oh my God! What if
No,
they
we've got a huge Bosnian population in Afton where I live.
Yeah. I both went to Melville. We had a lot of
okay.
There you go, Kenny.
friends
I went to
to
Melville.
South. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I went to Lindbergh. No,
Oh,
I'm
did
just
you?
kidding. No.
So yeah.
But Lindbergh and Melville
yeah.
are the big, aren't they the big
Yeah,
rivals?
And there's a lot of kids in those two schools, man.
Yeah. I think it's like 2,000 when I was there, 2,400. It's like a small city.
Yeah, I had 995 in my graduating class.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you guys got started, since it's Soulard Gyro, but the one that you brought all the food from, I presume, is the one here in Maryland Heights.
Yeah. So in 2009, I opened a location down in Soulard. Because I wanted something, dinner kebab, which is a dish that I grew up in Germany. It's just a gyro, just in a different, bun. It's Turkish thing. So I was trucking along, and then as we started franchising, I brought Ernie and his brother along, and they've been very aggressive, opening stores. And so now I'm franchising more stores. We're always looking for eager franchisees that want to jump on and stuff. They're business oriented and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's how. And then the reason why we call it Soulard was we were going to change the name initially when I started franchising, but I was like, hey, let's give the country folks or county folks a little taste of Soulard without getting
I love that
shot.
Right? No,
Amen, brother.
No,
without getting
I love
shot.
the idea though of taking Soulard and
yeah,
keeping it and taking it to the West County area. Yeah.
So that's how it kind of started, and his brother just started a store down in Plano, Texas, and he's in the process of looking at another one in St. Peter's. So, I mean,
you got one in O'Fallon, you got one in Wentzville, you might as well, right?
Yeah.
Any chance for Busch Stadium?
That is always, but the problem with all that stuff is getting a long-term lease. So,
plus, there's nobody there to eat the stuff because nobody goes to the games anymore. So.
Yeah, I heard that.
You want customers.
I heard that.
Hungry
I'm
customers.
not a big baseball guy. I mean, I watch it, but I'm more hockey. I love hockey. But,
That'd be great. Enterprise Center?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Blues are on a 10-game winning streak.
Oh, no.
10 in a row.
Hey, Vidal, so you got a passion for food. I mean, you guys have to have a passion for food.
Yeah, as you can tell.
And I wasn't gonna say anything. I don't talk to him about that. But you have to, and then that's what makes it successful. Because I think, did you say you blend different?
Yeah. So, like I said, the Greeks got the gyros, and which another thing is, everybody in America thinks that gyros are lamb and beef. If you go to, I got married in Greece, in Crete. It's pork or it's chicken most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, but something happened whenever
something happened.
Something happened
in Chicago when the Greece came in.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's lamb. No,
yep.
Like when you go to Greece, even the Greeks like, hey, lamb's expensive. It's anywhere in the world. It's not just America.
Isn't that interesting?
So it's usually pork or chicken, But then the Turks have what's called dinner kebab, which is and then the Middle Eastern have shawarma, which is all kind of translates to spinning meat, pretty much.
Right.
But just the spice palette is different. The Greeks and the Turks is similar spice palette. The Arabs, they put more of a like cinnamon in there, so it's different spice palette. But it's all kind of like I said, my mom like baklava, spanakopita, tiropita, Buddha. The Albanians have it, so it's all very similar because again, the Ottomans 500 years ruled those areas, so it's just a lot of blend of cultures and stuff like that.
So, and you have a wider menu because you have falafel and other
Yeah.
items on the menu, which is great.
Falafel? You got falafel?
Yeah, it's more vegetarians, and stuff. And
so is this Greek food or is this Bosnian food?
It's, I want to say Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, yeah.
Not necessarily Greek.
Well, no, I mean, it's a Mediterranean blend of stuff that we like to eat.
So get out of here. I said that to Stell, not to the guys.
Because, like I said, I grew up in Germany, so there's a big Turkish population. And
This conversation is so multicultural, isn't it?
Oh, it really
it's
is.
so diverse.
But I want to ask you something about that everybody knows about, small business owners. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you guys come into St. Louis, and you want to start a business. You start the business. It's successful. But let me ask you this now: with the new Trump administration, I'm not going to get too political or anything like that. But is it a favorable situation to at least seeing the outlook of the policies that he has in place and that he wants to put in place?
Well, like I said, we're always hoping for a better economy, because it'll help everybody. So, I mean, I'm not political. It's just, I always tell people, hey, I don't care who's in office as long as the economy gets better.
Well, then you do care who's in office.
It helps.
You don't want Joe Biden. That's for damn sure.
It helps everybody, because more money means people can spend more money. That's better for us. And because, you want to be able to have, right now, I know a lot of businesses struggling because of inflation. A lot of customers, and big businesses are filing bankruptcy and stuff because people just don't have the extra funds to go out, how they used to be. I was telling them, let's say, I don't know, whatever, let's take a year, but people might go out to eat 3 times a week, 4 times a week because they had extra money in their pockets. Now it might be once a week because,
tough, man.
insurance went up, everything going up. So.
Well, I always tell Vic, if the Democrats had common sense policies like MAGA people had, like the Trump administration has, I'd probably be a Democrat. I mean, this is the way it works. I mean, you've got to have good policies to help small business owners and help people be able to go out 3 times a week instead of once.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always looked at myself as a libertarian, to be honest. Like I'm in the middle. I like, growing up, I like some things in Germany that social things, but also like some conservative things, So it's like,
so you just want out of my wallet, out of my bedroom, leave me alone.
Yeah,
right?
I'm more down the middle, which I think we all should be somehow, but nowadays it's just very divisive. And
all right,
yeah,
I have a very important question here. What's your name again?
Ernad.
Ernad. You came in here with a Soulard Euro hat and hoodie.
You want one?
Yes.
I got you.
Do you have them in 3Xs though?
I do.
All right.
That's awesome.
I really do.
I actually have those.
We often wear it. We often wear it here when we're on the stream and everything.
Yes.
Nice,
And you
nice.
called him Ernie.
Yeah, Ernest's nickname.
So Ernad
we know
is
each other
Ernie.
from high school. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like when I first started the store, he used to help out at the store, and then that's how it started. Kind of like his brother was like, "Hey, let me open a store," and then he jumped. So it's like you said, they've been very aggressively grown, and they're very motivated and hard workers.
Awesome.
So it's been.
So you're doing well. The stores are doing well.
Well, yeah, we're trying to get back. Last year was, election year was really tough. Everything hit us, from food costs going up, labor costs going up. I mean, and you try to juggle things and stuff and make it work, but we're trying to get back out that little hole that last year was. So,
will energy prices, if they go down, will they help?
Energy, I mean, if it trickles down, because you got to figure the cost is passed on. Whatever. Let's say you buy from a food supplier and they buy from a manufacturer, so the cost gets passed down to us and the end consumer. So whatever cuts that can happen are going to help everybody pretty much.
Great. Awesome. That's the plan. That is actually the plan to get he wants to get the energy prices down to help everybody first, and then everything else is going to try and follow.
So were you born in Bosnia or were you born in Germany?
I was born in Bosnia, in Sarajevo.
Where did Germany come in?
So when my dad used to work in Germany, he was there was what they call in Germany a Wirtschaftswunder. That's how the Turks ended up in Germany, because they needed people to work, after the World War. And so my dad ended up in Germany working, and then he come back home. And then when the war started, he came back and got us. And that's how I spent a year in Stuttgart, which is
wow.
And then we moved to Munich, and I lived there for 9 years. And then.
So you speak German?
German, Bosnian, English.
Bosnian and English.
Yeah.
So
if you ask my mom, she speaks some languages, because Yugoslavia used to be 6 or 7 countries, but it's all the same language. But
wow!
Now they're separated.
Yeah,
but, so.
But you're already 2/3 smarter than me.
Oh,
because I barely have the English language down, and 3 languages. Don't you speak Greek?
I do.
So
yeah,
fluent?
Not that fluent. That was my first language when I was a kid. Didn't learn English until I was
I'm
4
so
or 5
jealous
years
of
old.
people that can
Yeah,
speak
I just
more
know
than
the
one.
bad words. So.
Yeah, my mom and dad spoke Greek at home all the time. I don't know if they thought I would pick up English somewhere on the streets, but eventually I did learn it.
Did you have an accent when you started talking?
I honestly don't remember.
And
I
what's
really
your
don't
accent?
remember.
Your accent Bosnian, German? What the hell's going on? here?
Well, I learned English watching gangster movies.
All right.
So a lot of people they're like, "Oh, you sound like from Boston or
Like
Chicago."
Goodfellas?
Yeah, Goodfellas,
Yeah.
Sopranos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference. He did it with movies. I did it with Romper Room as a little kid.
So The Sopranos, you watch The
I
Sopranos?
love The Sopranos. I think it's one of the best shows ever.
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, are you? Nice.
And the very last scene there in
Uh-huh,
Holston's, 2 blocks from where I grew up.
Really?
2 blocks. We used to go there
That's
every
awesome.
Saturday. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough for coming in. I really wish you much success. And I'm glad you sorted all this cultural stuff
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I mean, that's what makes America great. I mean, we're multicultural here. No other country in the world has, that gets along so well for the most part.
Yes.
A lot of countries in Europe don't have that. It's so we.
What do they have?
Well, I mean, we have many cultures living in peace. Which that's what makes us great.
Yeah.
Like Italian, Greek, Bosnian, maybe
He's Welsh.
German,
Welsh,
yeah.
Welsh and
Yeah,
Irish
so-
and Mutt and
and
Indian.
that's why the best food is. People always tell me the food.
I agree with
The
that.
best food is America, and people can talk about that, whatever. But the best food is America because if I want some great Indian food, I can find it. If I want great Greek food, I can because we have so many.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
different.
Not necessarily the
cultures.
American food, finding the cultural
No,
stuff.
no. Also, American food. I mean, barbecue is great. here.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. We're gonna
Hey.
find good barbecue in Europe.
Right.
It's gonna be very hard.
Yeah.
So-
Can't get a good cheeseburger in Stuttgart.
Well, and we know about the gyro. That's one of my favorite sandwiches.
Mhm.
What else do you offer? I mean, what are the other
In 30
sandwiches?
seconds. If
Yeah.
you can do it in 30 seconds,
We
that'd
have
be great.
dinner kebab, which was great dinner kebab. Our chicken is all hand stacked. It's not processed. We have falafel. We have wraps, salads.
Okay.
We do appetizers, stuff like that. So yeah,
This is beef I got here, right?
that's lamb and beef right there.
Okay,
yeah.
great, perfect. You guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
We wish you well. 3 X's, triple X
We got
on
you.
the hoodie. Thank you so much. And we wish you well is all I can say.
Thank
Any
you.
last words for our guests? Token Greek style, babe?
Efaristo Parapouli.
I knew it. I knew
Thanks
he'd
very
say-
much.
Did you know what he said?
No.
Ah, got it. All right. All right, that's it. We're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So, because this show used to be 2 hours, guys, and then they gave us another hour.
Okay.
God knows why. But now we have 3 hours.
And we're
We are-
loving it.
And we are absolutely loving
There
it.
you go.
And we're MAGA people. I guess you saw that too. Okay. All right. So your friends are watching? Anybody you want to say hi to?
I'm just sure. I didn't know you guys have a stream. I told some people.
Yeah, on about 4 different platforms.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So in the future, you can watch us
Oh.
while you're making this stuff
Right.
in the
Right.
store, right?
Your shirt on and everything.
Yeah. With that shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want one of those. Triple X. All right, listen, thank you so much for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
What the hell are you talking about? Jamie Allman and the Allman Report is next. I've been holding this in my hand. I can't wait to bite it. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of minutes. We will see you tomorrow at 9 on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
When it comes to spending your tax dollars and teaching your kids, governments and school districts should be an open book. But in Missouri, that's not always the case. Recently, the Show Me Institute sent out a sunshine law request to school districts across the state, asking for information on whether certain topics are being taught. Specifically, a controversial one called critical race theory was included in the list. Many districts didn't respond. Some wanted to charge large fees to process the documents. Lee's Summit outside Kansas City wanted over $35,000. A rural district, Morgan County, wanted $15,000. The Sunshine Law does allow charging a reasonable fee for sending out information, but there's nothing reasonable about $35,000 or $15,000. These districts should want to be transparent about their curriculums. Taxpayers deserve to know what their kids are being taught. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Tony Colombo here for Gutter Pros, your all-in-one gutter service team that brings years of experience and quality that's affordable right to your doorstep. We discovered Gutter Pros a few years ago when we bought our home and inherited a gutter issue that was on the road to becoming a potentially big problem, but thanks to Gutter Pros was stopped before causing any major damage. They've also repaired the siding on our home because along with gutter repair, gutter installation, and leaf protection, the Gutter Pros are also the best for siding repair and installation. Learn about all the ways Gutter Pros can help your home at gutterpros.com.
Get ready for a night of fun to benefit our heroes at the Heroes Care Mouse Races, Friday, May 16. Doors open at 6:30 with races kicking off at 7. The night includes raffles, door prizes, a silent auction, and thrilling 50-50 drawing. Support our military heroes. We'll have you an absolute blast. Heroes Care is dedicated to supporting military members and their families. And now you can